Our daughter blew her $200,000 college fund on the shopping mall. Should I give her my retirement? Listen, you gotta get a lot of Gucci.
Louis Vuitton.
Hermes? So I am stuck between a rock and a hard place, and I don't know what to do. And the problem is I can't discuss it with anyone I'm close to for privacy reasons. I've been with my wife, Andrea, 48 female, and my stepdaughter, Cassie, 17 female, for 8 years now. I love them both to death, but Cassie is a very bright young woman. Recognizing her potential, me and Andrea decided to put together a college fund for Cassie so she wouldn't be crushed by debt. Over the years, it amounted to over $200,000. Now, Cassie is aware of this fund and is banking on it since she's trying to get into the Ivy League. Good for you.
Which is expensive.
This is true. To make a long story short, last week, I found out that almost $170,000 of the money was missing from the account.
How do you one day just find that out?
I freaked the F out and asked Andrea if she knew anything about it. She teared up and said that she had been spending money over the years to fund her spending habit.
What is she spending the shit on, bro?
I was furious, but I had a moment of clarity. I browsed these subs enough to know that there was an affair possible, so I asked if she was having one.
Wait. So this is the wife.
This is the wife.
That is so selfish. Red flag.
She adamantly denied cheating and offered any proof that I needed. Social media accounts, emails, her work phone, everything. She offered to show me the receipts as well. There was nothing that popped out as suspicious, and the math from the receipts added up, so I let that go.
What is she buying?
What are you buying?
Can return that shit.
Literally.
Was he not suspicious when like all these bags that are super expensive turned up?
Yeah.
I want to know what she bought.
I'm also dying to know. But we still had the major problem of the money being gone. She described herself as a shopping addict, and the money from Cassie's account was just too tempting not to use. Oh, she didn't make any excuses and offered no solutions. God.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks. As stated before, I was beyond furious. She ruined Cassie's chances at going to college debt-free and changed the trajectory of her whole life. I asked her to stay with her sister while I tried to figure this out. Now, my stepdaughter Cassie was concerned about why she was leaving, but we said we just needed a little bit of space. What would you think if that happened? I'm curious, everyone
I would
listening.
think like my parents are fighting. Maybe
Right?
there's some cheating. I feel like she'll think it's worse than it is.
Yeah.
Even though it's already pretty bad.
Yeah. I asked Andrea to come back home yesterday, and we had an extremely long discussion about how to handle this. She stopped me from talking and asked a favor of me. I don't know if you're in the position for favors, but
I feel like maybe the 150 grand that you spent would be the favor enough.
she asked if I could take the fall for her.
Why?
That is
Wait, you're
so
saying you get
insane.
all the Gucci bags and none of the blame?
You get out scot-free?
Where's my Gucci bag? That's not fair.
For context, her and Cassie don't get along well for a variety of reasons, and knowing how independent Cassie is, she will probably leave right after college, if not during. In fact, me and Cassie get along very well, and she comes to me for a lot of her issues. Andrea fears that this will permanently drive Cassie away, and she doesn't want to lose her. I told her that before we even talk about that, she needed to acknowledge her mistake and own it. She needed to go to individual therapy, we needed couples counseling, and she needed to find a shopaholic support group, and that I would be controlling the finances from now on. She said that those terms were steep but fair.
I don't know if those are steep.
Not really.
It's a terrible thing that she just asked for that.
I said she needed to tell Cassie what she did, apologize, and hope for the best. She refused.
No, I don't think I will.
And said she would never lose Cassie. She said that I could survive the mistake, but she couldn't.
Dude, this is so fucked. I mean, but like then it's like your relationship with your daughter is based on a lie. She's going to be able to put 2 and 2 together.
But the worst part about the whole thing is that Cassie's life is ruined either way. Man, and I don't know how to replenish the money other than by borrowing from my 401k. Reddit, do you have any suggestions? Divorce is always an option, but I love Andrea despite her mistakes, and me dating at age 52 is next to impossible. I gotta ask y'all, like, what do you do? Like, what can you do?
I don't think OP should lie. If the daughter's going to get into Ivy League school, then she's like a smart person.
Yeah.
She could probably figure out what's going on. That lie isn't going to do anything but make it worse.
When it comes out. And
Yeah.
it'll come out.
It'll come out.
Like,
And then she's just going to not trust her mom more. So
Yep.
honestly, in the long run, I think it actually does more damage.
yeah, that's such a good point.
It doesn't sound like divorce necessarily needs to be on the table, but I do think like managing all the finances makes sense.
Edit. After everyone here knocked some sense into me, I realized I can't lie to Cassie. I love her too much and she deserves the absolute truth no matter how ugly or hard it is.
I agree.
I agree. I will be talking to Andrea and telling her that we need to tell the truth together as a condition of us staying together, or else I will initiate divorce proceedings and tell Cassie anyways. Also, as someone suggested, I don't need her trying to flip the script on me, so I'll record our interactions going forward. That's right. What if she goes to Cassie and said that he spent the money first?
Oh, shit.
Edit number 2. I want to thank everyone here for really opening my eyes yesterday. You're all right. I need to put Cassie first, and like I said, I'll be telling the absolute truth. Even if she gets mad at me and disowns me, at least I'll know I did the right thing. In addition, I'm going to pay for her college myself. Wow. So he's still going to do it. I can pull money from a couple of places such as my retirement and inheritance, so I'll be okay. If I have to live a little frugally during retirement and work a few extra years, then so be it. Cassie is worth it. Oh, I love that. That really touches me, honestly.
He is such a good guy.
I honestly doubt that her mother is going to sell her stuff, so that's why I'm taking this route. You have
Wait,
to
the
sell
mom is not gonna. That should be a condition.
100%.
Are you kidding me?
1,000,000,000,000%. She cannot keep a single thing. Not a single thing. As for Andrea, I've been criticized for wanting to let Andrea off the hook, so to speak, but it's easy to say when really deep feelings aren't involved. That being said, I don't think I can stay with her. Wow.
Oh, what? Oh, no.
Letting her go.
I mean, yeah, this is a really big character, especially if she's not willing to give it up.
What she did is horrendous and ruined our daughter's future for her addiction. We had a long discussion late last night and I threatened divorce unless she told Cassie the truth. She begged me not to do this, but I put my foot down and eventually she agreed, but only if I agreed not to divorce and I helped prepare their relationship. I likely won't be doing either. She made her bed so she can sleep in it. So if I have an update, I'll probably just make a whole new post. Thank you so much. Sam, there's one final update.
I mean, I think
the saga.
I think they're gonna get divorced. I think so.
Yeah, money's on divorce.
Yeah, I think in this case, if she wasn't willing to, I think actually the shopaholic stuff is forgivable. It's like, hey, I'm an addict. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What's not forgivable is not selling the items that you bought.
Yes.
That's like,
and wanting to put the blame on him.
Yeah, those that's non-negotiable.
Yeah, 100%.
Let us know what you think, though. There's a lot of other updates, but let us know what you think.
Put your bets in right now, divorce or not, in the comments, and then we'll see at the end. I want to start this by thanking everyone who replied to my original post. You all showed me tough love, and I appreciate that. I even appreciate those who are calling me a doormat. God. Because, like I said in previous posts, it woke me up. I will not be staying with Andrea.
Wow.
She lied and manipulated me and Cassie for far too long for me to stay with her. The fact that she stole from me, Cassie, and Cassie's grandparents makes this as close to unforgivable as it gets. The most wronged party here is Cassie. She has an amazing future ahead of her, and I refuse to let her future go to waste because my wife made selfish choices. But, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta let us know what you're thinking here. I mean,
dude, yeah, please
yikes.
let us know in the comments.
What would you do I'm curious most what people think from Cassie's POV. Like, what would you do if your mom did this to you?
Who like you thought you had this money for college and then it's just gone?
Like your own mom, like takes from this fund that's supposed to be for you. I mean, that's not only is like the marriage gone, but it's like that relationship is.
I think I'd be pretty pissed. I'm just thinking like my parents helped me pay. Helped me pay like half of my tuition, because then I would have been saddled with like maybe 60,000 of debt. Otherwise, around that, maybe less, maybe like 30 to 60,000. Anyway, it would have been like a lot for
definitely
coming out of college.
Absolutely, not
as much as some people. Some people, like I know a friend that has like 120,000 rand in college debt. But I think I would, knowing that would have been taken away, and then also having to pay it every month until it's paid off. I feel that there would be part of me that would resent that person.
Yep.
I think it would be really, really hard. Like eventually I would get over it. I still want to have a relationship with that parent, but it's rough. It's rough. I think OP is doing the exact right thing. But let us know what you think. Also, let us know if like you've ever had the situation of your parents
100%.
Or maybe you have a kid that you're saving up for college. Like, has this ever happened to you? Also, like, how much are you guys like saving up for college, or has anyone saved up money for college for you?
Yeah.
Curious if people have college funds in general. Remember group projects in school?
I feel like only one person did everything, and then everyone else was just coasting.
Okay, yeah. Well, we all know they suck, but these are the top 5 worst group project horror stories of all time.
Starting with number 5.
Today, I effed up by being a male in a woman's studies group project. Should I drop out? This is OKOP, the home of the craziest stories on earth. I'm Sam, and John. Should OP drop out?
I mean, my guy, you're walking into a losing battle. You are not equipped.
I think he is doing greatness by trying to learn.
I'm obviously totally joking. Yeah, this is great.
Sound like you're joking.
Oh yeah,
I feel
Sam.
like you've been watching too much tape.
What are you insinuating?
You're a raging misogynist. So this comes from Oh Boy Cookies, and they say this literally happened last night, and I'm going to change some names. Some context. I've always been interested in psychology, so I signed up for some psychology courses this semester. The one I'm taking about happened to be a cross-listed course with women's studies. Now, to the F up. For our end of semester final project, we picked groups of 4 to work on a presentation on drug addiction and how it related to sex differences. My friend Maria and I automatically started wondering who to complete our group with. We immediately thought of Karen, who we'd work with on our midterm assignment. Then Maria suggested we get Kylie as the last member of our group. I was a little uncertain because something about her seemed off. She was the girl who attended an all-girl religious school in high school and self-described communist and a self-described feminist. But she was also quite smart.
Riley's dream girl.
I told myself I was imagining red flags where there were none, and I figured it was just one project. So why not? Boy, was I wrong. We met as an entire group to work on our presentation twice, during which she monopolized everything. She selected our presentation type, our slide sizes, the amount of bullet points we wrote, and even the effing font type.
Ooh.
Initially, I didn't agree to all this, but she started biatching and making everyone miserable. By our third meeting yesterday, everyone in our group was just defaulting to checking in with her for any changes in the presentation. I personally just decided to keep talking to a minimum, no jokes, and just be friendly. In our first run through, she stammered through her lines with a lot of ums and ahs, and we went way over our time limit. I decided to try to be encouraging and told her, don't worry, Kylie, you'll be fine. Since your part of the presentation is like 7 minutes, if you remove the ums and the ahs in your sentences, you could easily cut another 30 seconds. She immediately responded with, oh yeah, I think it's disgusting that you'd say I have 30 seconds worth of ums and ahs, and I thank you not to say that to me again. Disgusting. You disgusting pig of a man. She also got upset when the rest of the group tried to tell her that she was, in fact, spending way too much time on her intro, claiming that we were all sitting on her slides unnecessarily.
There's not even talking about your slides.
Yeah,
like
dude.
if anything, that I feel like the connotation is like, oh,
Your slide delivery.
your content is great. You just need to, tighten it up a little bit.
But wait, folks,
Oh,
it gets better.
no boy.
After 2 hours, we decide we're done for the day and get up to leave. Kylie tells us to wait, saying she wanted to have a meeting right now about group dynamics. She started off with, okay, OP.
Hey, let's go.
I don't mean to harp on you, but I feel very uncomfortable around you because you're very misogynistic. I was stunned, to say the least, and asked her for an example. She responded by reminding me our first meeting where she asked me to explain what creatine does. I said, okay, so creatine works primarily with ATP. Hold on, you know what ATP is? She responded with, yeah, believe it or not, I have taken upper level biology course before. According to her, this was proof of my internalized misogyny because I believed women didn't belong in science.
I don't even know what that means.
That feels a bit of a stretch,
Bit of a
Kylie.
stretch.
I was confused and tired, so I tried to diffuse the tension with, all right, Kylie, I promise you, I have nothing against you. I'm sorry for doing anything to you that you consider misogynistic, and I'll try to improve on that.
Nope.
Problem solved.
He done effed up.
Why did he F up, John?
Bro, he's like, I'm sorry that you feel like I'm a misogynist or whatever. What?
Right
Talk
here,
to
he
me.
said problem solved because he was trying to solve the problem and not listen to
Yeah,
it.
he thought
That's what it was.
he
He
thought
didn't say problem solved to her, to be clear.
in his head. He's like, cha-ching, problem
solved.
solved.
He was trying to solve a problem that a No, I'm trying
Say it, Riley. Say
Riley's
it.
backing down.
No, some people want to be heard. They don't want their problems to be solved. And I feel like he was solving the problem, and then like that makes walls go up rather than like
Yeah.
I'm hearing what you're saying.
Yeah.
I feel you. We're on the same page. He's
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm not gonna ever do that again.
But wait, there's more.
Here we go.
Instead of accepting my apology, she got angrier, saying, I never did anything to improve. She then proceeded to build up examples, such as when I said I liked her university better than another university because Kylie's sister went there. This is proof of my verbal abuse.
What?
Until she was screaming that I was an asshole, that I was constantly verbally assaulting her, and that I was a misogynist to women. It feels like someone else is kind of being verbally abusive right now.
Yeah, real quick, what's the deal with the sisters' college? Like, what does that even...
He said he didn't like another college, and basically she took offense to that because her sister goes there.
Oh, okay.
At this point, I was too shocked to even say anything. I've never been accused of misogyny right now, let alone internalized misogyny. So at this point, 20 minutes into her rant, Karen Maria tried to calm Kylie down, but it ended up making her mad at them.
Yeah, there we go.
When Karen tried to calm her down, Kylie demanded to know, how can you stand him when he doesn't even say your name right? Karen was taken aback and responded that she didn't mind because most people get her name wrong. Even worse, she has a tricky real name, and reminded her that it actually apologized for saying her name wrong earlier in the meeting and fixed it. Rather than accept that, she started screaming that it's not acceptable to take that lying down. Maria was made of sterner stuff. She flat out told her, you need to calm down. I feel like I'm in the middle of an 8th grade argument with my boyfriend. Kylie took this as an invitation to grab her stuff and storm out of the room screaming how they were all encouraging my misogyny. We're supposed to meet for our final presentation preparations tonight. Pray for me. Woo!
Pray for our boy, our
Pray for
fallen
our
soldier.
boy. I mean, a question to you guys,
Yeah.
question to John and Riley. What should OP have done differently in this situation?
So what I would have done...
And is OP an a-hole?
Yes. So first, what I would have done, kind of like what Opie was saying at the beginning of the story, I kind of just want to get through this. I don't really want to shake anything up. I would probably just be like, you know what? You're right. Thank you for helping me learn and understand more. I would probably say something like that.
Yeah, I am a misogynist.
Yeah, basically. Do I really mean that? No, but I am just kind of trying to get through this group project without all of this insanity.
Yeah.
And then is OP the a-hole? No. And especially like,
Yeah.
I was wondering, sometimes we read these stories and this is from OP's perspective. They have the benefit of creating the narrative. But the fact that
The other two group project members
who
kind
are
of
all women
Yeah.
are like, oh, actually, like he's just, pointing out like, tightening up the, she's just people use things and they take it too far and they pimp it to their
She did
advantage.
not take criticism well.
No.
And I think like he may have like been the one that was voicing that a lot. So she took that as offense and like personalized that. And then I think she was fishing. I don't think there's anything he could actually said.
I bet there probably he could have some biases and things of that nature, but not in what she was calling out at all.
No.
Like,
yeah. I wonder if like I'm thinking of what exactly I would say. I would probably say, yes, I'm sorry. I was being a misogynist. What can I do to make you feel more comfortable? Is that like,
I don't think that's the thing to say either. Because one, you're admitting to it, and then two, it kind of low-key seems sarcastic. Like, yes, I'm a misogynist, even if any tone or way you...
I wonder, is it almost like killing them with kindness a little bit? Yeah.
well, what do you say? I'm so sorry that I did. Well, because he kind of said, I'm so sorry I made you feel that way.
Yeah, which get like, if you're talking to a person like this, it's so going to come off as like, I'm so sorry that your butt hurt. I'm not sorry about my actions, but I'm sorry you
I feel
don't
like you have
them.
to say, I hear you. I am a misogynist, and I'm working on it.
If you want to squash the beef, that's kind of what you got to say.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah. If you just want to make it through this group project without...
which is all OP's trying to do. OP's not trying to like be long-term friends.
Yeah,
OP's just trying to get that A.
Yeah, exactly. Not that A, but that A,
Yeah. Yeah, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Hold on.
Hey,
Who's the misogynist now? Whoa.
No,
Yeah.
sucks. I mean, John is. We've already established that
We've
John
already
is
est-
a
I'm
raging misogynist at the
Raging
beginning of the
misogynist.
episode.
Yes, absolutely.
Literally, we're just talking about grades, and all John can think about is ass.
I'm a misogynist. I'm sorry. What can I do better?
No.
Put in the comments below.
Also-
Thank you. Thank you very much. Woo!
But John, I think you got another story for me, huh?
You know what? I do.
That was number 5. Number 4 gets worse.
My teacher took points off of my presentation because I am autistic. What should I do?
I think sue.
Sue them.
Sue
Yeah.
'em.
Report it to the school board. All of that.
Yeah, dude.
Come on.
You should not get points off for the tism.
Are you kidding me? What is going on?
A way big throwback. Sophia and I had an episode where we talk about autism, and I asked the question: if you were faking autism, do you actually have it? A lot of you guys made your remarks in your comments, and I really appreciate that. But I think in this scenario, she could fake not having autism and
fake having autism or
like fake not having it. Like the guy.
Oh, like I have autism, but I'm passing as not having it.
Yes,
is what you're
yes,
saying.
I feel like that.
I
could,
see. Which is probably
So OP could role play as not having autism to get the points back.
really. Dude, I
Is
love
that
this
what
guy.
you're saying?
I love
in
this
the first
guy.
place, you could have faked having autism, but I don't think you can help it. I don't know. I just learned people that have autism could fake it, and that if you would have
So
thought,
they
I
could
feel like
pass
what
as
Riley's
not
saying
autistic.
is like he doesn't believe that autism exists.
no, I believe it exists. I just didn't know people could fake not having
don't know.
autism
Riley
whenever they
thinks
did
that
have
all
autism.
Riley's getting
people
back
are
to the hot seat.
faking
Hold
it.
on.
Okay, I've learned, and thank you all for your perspective.
There we go.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm sorry for being
for being a
ableist.
an
Ableist,
yes.
I am gonna improve to be better. Tell me how I can do better.
Woo! We are apologizing. This is the apology episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Tour. All we need is some fake tears and a ukulele, and then we can really make sure this is a YouTube apology video.
The title of this video: I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Period.
That actually would be a funny.
That would be pretty good. This story comes from Passing Through 3333. They say, I'm going to sound annoyed in this post because, well, I am so mad about this, mainly because both the conversation and after it as well. We had a debate in my English class. Hey. Hey. I have a speech impediment, okay? You need to apologize.
I'm sorry for being ableist.
Thank you. We had a debate in my English class. Okay, great. I need better skills in public speaking. I'm fine that I lost points for bad speaking skills, but what I'm mad about is the fact that I lost points on stimming. And so OP actually gave us some context on that. According to OP, stimming, repetitive behaviors autistic people, among others, are compelled to do.
It's like Tourette's.
I don't know if it's that exactly. I guess it's just
Well, I guess
like
Tourette's is a bad word, mainly.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I guess this is specifically stammering caused from the autism. Repetitive behaviors autistic people, among others, are compelled to do. Yeah, it's just a kind of like you're compelled to repeat things, certain behaviors, certain words, etc. I didn't even know that was something that he could take off, but he did. And that just seems unfair. He said it was distracting and he couldn't focus on what I was saying because I kept rocking back and forth and slightly punching the podium, which made too loud of a sound, etc. I don't think this is fair, like at all. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm upset over nothing. I talked to him today, starting something.
Does the teacher know that OP's autistic?
That is the real question, which I think we're about to find out. I talked to him today, stating some things and stuff and getting clarity and asking for some extra credit and whatnot. He said that I need to present myself better and I need to make eye contact, stop stimming, and just socially act my age.
Yeah, could you not be autistic, bro?
Yeah, could you just stop being like, bruh, I wonder if he literally verbatim said stop stimming. That's crazy. Which I think is uncalled for.
I imagine he didn't say stimming because he doesn't sound educated enough to
know
understand what that is.
Yeah, but basically like, hey, could you stop being autistic? Like, could you stop insert symptoms of being autistic.
He goes to the kid in the wheelchair. It's like, hey, you really need to stand for a speech.
Literally, there we go. Yes, that is a good analogy. That helps illustrate it well, which I think is so uncalled for. I'm diagnosed with ASD. I have an IEP for that, nothing academic related. This is an honors class. So to define those real quick, ASD is autistic spectrum disorder, and he has an IEP, which is an accommodation plan for a disabled student. So OP has ASD, autistic spectrum disorder, and the school knows about it, and they've basically created a plan to accommodate that.
Yep.
Anyways, again, maybe I'm just making a bigger deal than it is and being a crybaby. I've cried for the past 3 hours over the last 2 days on how much I hate myself that I can't be normal.
Oh.
OP, I'm so sorry. Sending love your way. Is this fair? And what should I do? So we do have some comments that we're coming up into, but let's take a sec. Break it down real quick. Oh, my heart goes out to OP. So basically, it seems that the school obviously knows. It's obviously in the records. It seems the speech teacher knows, or the way that OP's writing it, I would assume that the teacher is aware that they have autism, and
but maybe not aware enough to know what the effects of autism are.
Exactly. Yeah. Like basically the innate things that ASD is causing OP to do that is like not as easy.
Which seems like, this teacher just needs to be educated a little bit.
Yeah, you know? I think the teacher needs to be educated, and it's like, I don't know, to me, like, you know how sometimes teachers can get on a high horse and get kind of power drunk? It's like, look, at the end of the day, this is a course that's like trying to help people. And to me, you should grade progress relative, right? So it's like, why would I expect OP to do the same things and behave and do the same things as a person that doesn't have ASD?
Yeah.
That's an unfair comparison and not helpful.
I mean, if you look at how schools run right now, when people have like ADHD, right? They get extra time on tests.
Boom.
Right. And it's a way to accommodate the learning process for people who have basically things that are out of their control. In the same way, you wouldn't have someone in a wheelchair stand for the speech. Like, I don't think you can say like, don't be autistic.
Like, bruh, come on. And oh my God, it's just like, and to know that like how much it hurt OP, like heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah. It's like you kind of expect this kind of like bullying to happen on the schoolyard and stuff. I mean, it shouldn't, but it happens. But when it comes from a teacher, just from being ignorant,
that's supposed to be your safe space, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the classic thing, like the teacher that like takes the initiative and interest and like helps coach a student. But
and it feels like this guy's, like you said, old school, and being old school is good in some ways. Otherwise, you need to be like understanding.
Yeah, this is like at the end of the day, what is a teacher's goal? To help a student improve and learn. Period. This is not
doing that.
Helping the student to learn and improve at all. Not accomplishing the goal of being a teacher. But we have some comments. This one is from OP. I'm not technically failing the class now, but it definitely feels like failing. My grade went down from a 90 to a 79. I can't take dual enrollment without an 85 or higher. Oh, that's big. So
I don't know what's dual enrollment.
Dual enrollment, I believe.
I'll tell you. I went to dual enrollment.
Yep.
So basically, like you take a college class and it counts as a high school class as well. So it counts as a college and high school class.
So this is a big deal because if I'm understanding this right, if you have an 85 or lower any of your classes, you're kicked out of the whole program. So now you can't take any more college credit classes.
Oh, that's huge.
Big, which is big. Like honestly, like 90 to 79, big drop, which is already bad, but like still doable if it weren't for this.
I mean, then
85.
how low of a grade did the professor give OP?
79.
Lower to 79.
Yeah, his whole grade. So what was the grade on that specific?
Yeah, it must have been super low. It would have been lower than a 79. It would have been like a 50.
Well, it might have. Yeah, that's true. But it might have been like this speech counts as 50% of your total
Oh, what if
class
it was
that-
like
it
a
just-
final or
Yeah.
something like that? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Either way, it seems like, could have been a 60 or like a 10%, but whatever it was a bad
Yeah.
grade to drop
Yeah.
his whole average that low. Now, this is just an honors English 2 class. However, I've been telling both this teacher and another teacher about how I want to take the criminal justice dual class. So basically taking the college level class while still in high school. I have everything to take this class except if I can't get this English grade up. Plus, I basically planned my whole life out, and the only time I can take dual class is next semester if I want to take the APs I want to in my junior and senior year. So basically, which makes perfect sense. I mean, I also went through dual enrollment. I mean, once you get into the program, it's college. So you are planning, it's almost like getting kicked out of college and you can't get credits anymore.
But also like at least for UCLA, like none of my APs applied for.
Really?
Not really. Yeah.
None?
Not really. Because you have to take so many like classes as an engineer. Like it doesn't really matter.
Even like general education, like none of those?
No, I had to take all like the gen eds. It didn't really count. Like I had credits, but it didn't really mean anything.
Shout out to UC Santa Cruz for taking my credits.
Yeah.
Go banana slugs. Slugs are not known for their big brains.
Maybe actually if I took like a
no shade to my UC Santa Cruz alums, by the way. So I'm probably
slugs
gonna
are not known for.
Yeah.
But like I think if I had taken maybe a poli-sci or something, which had a lot of like less credits, then it might have done something.
Might have transferred over.
Yeah, usually.
Wow. Even gen ed, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I didn't do
That's
anything.
insane. Wow. Well, there you go. Which may be why I'm so butthurt over 4 points that I lost from stimming. Because that makes a difference, even if it's small. You're literally getting kicked out of the college program. I mean, that is a huge, it would already be a big a-hole move that the grade dropped that low. But like the fact that he's getting kicked out of the program, albeit I don't know if this professor is aware of this at this point, that doing this would cause OP to get kicked out of the entire dual enrollment program, but God. Now the class was about 50% public speaking and 50% actual researching on topics. He actually said that my arguments were really good. I used good sources and I explained things well, but my public speaking part killed my grade. Come, OP is doing it. OP is doing the work. And okay, OP has autistic spectrum disorder and is like, you know what? I want to take the initiative to get more comfortable in public speaking. I know that that's something I struggle with. This is so sad.
You know what I think OP should probably do is go to the board, like whatever the part of the school that deals with these different disorders,
situations,
and stuff, like the part of the school would do like extra time for tests and stuff. You should go to them and be like, look what this teacher's doing. This teacher is punishing me for being autistic.
Yes. The IEP, which is the plan that allows, he needs to go to them and be like, or OP needs to go to them and be like, hey, help me out, please. Yeah. I lost points on poor presentation overall. So for example, poor eye contact, speaking clarity, repeating sentences, which I am also annoyed about because I repeated one because I was stumbling over my words. However, lost an additional 4 points to an already poor grade is a lot. There is an update, but I just feel so much for OP.
It sucks.
To me, like, again, if I'm a teacher, I'm like grading you on like where are we starting and where are we ending. OP took the initiative, only stumbled on one sentence. Like, come on.
Yeah. But it's like, I think to the teachers making the wrong call, but I don't think like you can't grade kids on where they started and where they ended generally.
Generally no. Yeah.
But I feel like there should be some sort of exception made if you have a diagnosed
That's what I'm saying.
disorder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And so I think if OP went to some like whatever council they need to go to, I think this would get expunged.
Yeah, 100%. Which hopefully
the school doesn't want a lawsuit.
Exactly. Like,
I mean, this could be potentially ableist.
I definitely think this is grounds for a potential lawsuit. But we have an update.
I hope it's a good one.
We might find out what it is. So I posted this about 10 days ago discussing how my English teacher took points off my presentation during a debate because of stimming. I thought I should update you guys on what occurred afterwards. For one, I discussed with my teacher on my own. I wrote an extra credit proposal, which he granted. I mean, that's a smart idea, but also go to the board and whatnot as well. I ended up getting a 5-point extra credit assignment over Thanksgiving break. I had to tell a speech to my family about the importance of gratitude and what it means to me. I have an okay story time, slightly related to this. Secondly, I talked to my dad and stepmom, which they are both not the happiest. I would imagine.
Oh, yeah.
If this is my kid, oof. We ended up talking to him, the teacher. While he won't change my grade for the major, he is giving me a chance to make up minor grades. If I do some extra work, etc., 2 minor grades will become 100s. And there's another update after that. I mean, what do we feel about that? Like,
I mean, he is giving OP the opportunity
he is
to change the grade, which is good.
And like, I think remove ASD from if someone didn't have ASD in the situation, that would be totally fine. But could have. I feel like he's not like looking into his file.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know how teachers are supposed to do it.
The 4 points for the TISM stuff, I feel like he should give.
You give it back to OP. Like,
at the very least.
Yes. So on to the next update. First and foremost, I brought my grade up from a 78 to a 90. So we're back in the dual enrollment.
That's pretty good.
We're back.
That's pretty good. And that's where the grade was to begin with.
Oh, good point. I forgot about that. I know that grades aren't everything, but honestly, I can't be more excited about this. I also got a 100% on my state end of course test.
Okay, that's big.
Huge. Which I know probably had a huge curve, but still, I was extremely nervous about it. Congrats, OP. I love to hear that. Secondly, we ended up adding stimming onto my IEP. So now that is baked into the plan that teachers can read and reference.
And you cannot take away points for that.
Yes.
That's smart.
That's good. I'm very glad that happened. The person who does my IEP was annoyed that we even had to specify since she thought it was common sense. Lastly, the teacher got a talk about the importance of inclusion in his classroom and also to better understand some neurodiversity disorders in better detail.
Which is probably what he didn't, like, this is a learning opportunity.
He didn't know.
This is a learning opportunity.
Learning opportunity for sure.
Which is good.
Yes, and good that he's being educated on it.
Yeah.
That yours truly helped write since mental disorders and psychology is one of my special interests.
Wow.
That's great. That's very glad to hear that. Anyways, that's about everything that happened. My last day of school is Friday, meaning I am officially done with this teacher for the rest of my high school career. And I can happily say I am very excited to not have to deal with him anymore. And the final edit, y'all, this was an English class, not a debate class. Specifically, Honors 2 English. Probably should have mentioned that.
Yeah, Honors 2 English, I never had to do a
speech. I only did speeches in speech class.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Although Honors 2 English was like one of the hardest classes. It was the hardest class at our school.
Oh,
we
really?
had Mr. Caldwell, who was freaking just brutal. He was there for like 40 years. My friends' dads would have him, and like he was brutal back then too.
That's insanity.
Yeah.
It's always crazy when your parents have the same teacher as you. That's wild.
Mr. Caldwell.
Mr. freaking Caldwell. Sounds like Mr. Caldwell. Maybe OP's teacher kind of were boys.
Mr. Caldwell would just scream at people, bro. It was intense.
Do you think
he was like, how can you be so stupid? This is a dangling preposition, you idiot.
Wow. Do you
He didn't swear.
Do you know if he's retired?
Probably at this point, yeah.
Do you think if he was still operating today, if he would get like
get hurt,
reprimanded?
Probably.
Because what year did you have him? Do you think?
I graduated in 2015, so like early 2012.
Yeah, like early 2010s. I feel like everything was just starting to like turn up a notch.
It didn't really
stuff was
switch
still sliding
until like I feel like Me Too stuff.
Yeah.
Which was like what 2019.
2017. 2016, 2017. Yeah, to 2012, stuff was sliding past.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
But you know what I want to slide right into?
My okay story time.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of extra credit, so I was in dual enrollment. I was taking a speech class in dual enrollment. Wow, I didn't even connect that until just now. And I had I was going to UC Santa Cruz and I had some sort of stipulation. I couldn't get any more grades below a 70% to get like a certain scholarship going into UC Santa Cruz. I thought the day for the like online final was the next day. I'm on it. I'm in the library. It's 11 a.m. I'm getting started early. Crank open my laptop, and this exam has been closed. You cannot do. You have an automatic 0. And I was like, I just lost my $20,000 scholarship. So I go to her, begging, pleading. I explained the scenario. I was like, I'm going to UC Santa Cruz. I'm senior in high school, doing dual enrollment. If I get a 70 on this, I will lose $20,000. Is there anything I can do? And to her credit, she gave me like the rest of the hours of that day to finish. So she's like, okay, you finished, but you have to finish today. I was like, done, like, absolutely. And maybe she like graded it like a little bit. She like knocked a few points off or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she was like super Christian. So I mean, it was a movie. I can't remember the name of it, but it came out in when I got 2014. And it was it was like 3 people's storylines. One guy was like a pessimistic atheist, one woman was like a Muslim, and then some other third person. Matter of Faith, that might be it. And basically all 3 of them, it was like the cheesiest Christian movie of all time. Correct me if I'm wrong, Riley. The teacher is like an atheist. Then he convinces the daughter to become an atheist.
Yep. And then the dad's like, oh, no, we can't be having this. And then he like basically has a huge debate against the atheists about how God's real and how it's not evolution.
And then I think the atheist biology teacher gets hit by a car, and in his dying breaths, he's like, I believe in you, God. And then they threw in this Muslim woman for no reason whatsoever, other than to just like put a woman in a hijab in a movie and convert her to like, truly she had like
wait, she was converted too?
She had nothing to do with the storyline. It was literally like, okay, like in fairness, all right, the biology teacher, the girl, like, okay, care, and it's like pan to this Muslim household. Your like jeans are too short. You need to change. Blah blah blah. And then she had this completely wholly off narrative thing of like, Dad, I'm not going to take your oppression anymore, and I'm going to be a Christian now, like the good people at my school. Absolute no plot line whatsoever. So dumb.
With my ex's dad during that movie, I sat beside them and he walked out of it being like, hell yeah.
That's so funny. I was like, honestly,
I was like, be a Christian movie critic.
yeah, dude. Honestly, I was like, oh, this is fun. I get to watch. I was like, it was a crappy movie. I'm like, hey, I get to watch a movie and get extra credit. Yeah. And the way of proof was I had to give her the ticket from the movie theater.
Oh, you went to the theater.
Yo,
it wasn't out on like whatever Blu-ray or at the time.
So funny.
So she's like, you have to go to the theater, get the ticket, save it, and bring it to me. And I think maybe I had to do like a short speech or blurb on what I thought of the movie. And of course I just BS'd it. It was like, oh my God, it was so amazing. Just to like get as much 100% on the extra credit. But yeah, that's my extra credit makeup.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So are you a changed man?
My pants. Dude, so changed. I hate cheesy Christian movies. I changed so much.
Oh, I thought you were like, I'm not a evolutionist anymore. I
was like, wow.
6,000 years old.
I realized how many plot holes Christian movies can have, dude. I enjoyed it though. I was like, I get to watch this and get extra credit. Hell yeah, let's go.
It would be a funny video to watch a Christian movie marathon.
Curtis Connor did some reviews.
Christian movie marathon.
Yeah, that's actually the first video I ever saw of him. Like maybe 6 or 9 months ago.
Funny.
Yeah,
I would be down.
Yeah,
but you know what? I'm more down for.
What?
So read you this next story.
Let's do it.
I meet a peer, drop out of college. Am I the a-hole? And this actually comes from our beautiful OKOP family. If you want to submit your own story, go to r/OKOP show or call us at 440-508-6567. This comes from Nancy Pants 1. And they say, I, 31 female, am a college student in my senior year of engineering. Let's go engineering. We have to do a group senior design project. The teammates are Faith, 21 female, Gabby, 23 female, and Dean, 31 male.
Are they making Are they making a chair?
Dude, they might be. They might be. I made actually my final, if you look up like Samuel Donner engineering project, you can see the contraption we made. to make omelets, and it is a death machine.
About to get 20,000 views over here. Yeah, can we honestly? Wait. Let's get a clip. Here we go. Audible. All right, here we go.
Oh my gosh.
So wait, it's whisking it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And he has all these things wired up, whisking the egg.
This is awesome. We give you the omelette.
Yeah,
All right, here we go. All right, we're pouring the eggs, whisking it. Oh, dude. Cracking the egg.
Shoot.
Oh, this is sick.
Don't put your hand in there.
Oh, this is sick. Oh, it's pouring the eggs now down a tube, pouring through. What is going on now?
It's
dispensing
the
oil. Dispensing oil. Dude, this is fire. Oh, now it's pouring the eggs in.
Yeah.
Oh, did you threw the egg, the ham and stuff in there, right? Wow. Wow. Dude, it did it. It did it.
Wow.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
Crazy, bro.
Over a year ago, Dean and I became friends with benefit. That ended this summer. We decided to just be friends to avoid drama. When we started our project, Dean became very unpredictable. He refused to do any work, regularly cussed at us, and was often late or absent from meetings. We tried to accommodate him, but ended up doing the work to get a good grade. I knew he was feeling left out since the three of us girls are best friends. Dean was mad he wasn't included, but had previously hit on Gabby multiple times. She rejected him asking for dates 3 times. And remember, Gabby is 23.
And he is 31.
He would follow her to her car
Oh
after class to chat, insisting he was her protector. It escalated to regular sexual inquiries, and she was uncomfortable being around him. Man,
Oh my.
went downhill
God.
fast.
For real.
We didn't want him to get in trouble if he truly was lacking awareness to realize this was harassment. I talked to him, and the creepy comments seemed to stop for a while. But his treatment to team members worsened over time. Eventually, I knew we needed a conflict resolution meeting. I asked my professor how to run this type of meeting, and this may be where I effed up. My professor sent an email to her group that night stating that our meetings needed to be with a moderator. Dean knew that the issues were about him and wanted to discuss it then. It was 10:30 p.m., but he was spamming our group chat. The next morning, our professor wasn't available, so we were going to have a regular meeting. But Dean wanted to get into the conflict. We were in the public room on campus with many other students. I had prepared a 10-point conflict resolution guide so he wouldn't feel attacked. He was yelling and everyone overheard. Dean asked for examples of his behavior and Gabby gave him a couple, which upset him further. After trying to convince him that we needed him to at least stop cussing at us, yikes, he stormed out, told us he quit our group and was dropping out of school. Was I the a-hole for not canceling our meeting? Dean filed a complaint against our professor and texted Gabby to apologize later that night. I saw him a week later when he saw me. He turned around and left campus. I was shocked that he wouldn't even talk to me. The next week, I saw him again in lab. He told me that they were going to let him finish our class still. Dean didn't come to class for the last 6 weeks of class. He just found out that he will be back in our class next semester. He's also making up another class after telling a different professor that we teamed up against him so he didn't feel comfortable coming to class. Because of our last meeting, our group is nervous about his return, especially with the accusations he made against us. It seems like the college is trying to push him through the major. Reddit, please help. Would I be the a-hole if I just say something about the previous harassment, or should I just mind my own business?
Oh my God. So I just to make sure I'm understanding. So basically, he kept harassing the 23-year-old college student, right?
Yeah.
And then did they report it? And
then they were like, hey, we need conflict resolution. Like, what's going to happen?
Yep.
And they were supposed to do the next meeting with someone to oversee.
Like from the school, like faculty or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the professor wasn't available. And so they just did it without that person and had Dean there. And then Dean like cussed them out. And then OP basically said like, again, to the professor, hey, this is what happened. You filed a complaint.
Yeah.
And he, after that, was just like, I'm leaving school. But then he came into the class again later. So it sounds like he didn't really leave school. But if OP makes another complaint, it could probably hurt his chances of getting back into school. But if you're cussing people out,
dude,
like, and being at the very least, a little bit like sexual harassy, I think it is grounds for some sort of discipline from the school.
Let me tell you this, and this is sometimes I just hate school because it's like, let's operate like the real world. I worked in like tech in the Bay Area. If someone reported this, not only would he for sure get like removed from the department or team, which is like the equivalent of
You
like
would get fired.
you would get fired.
Yeah.
And OP,
And it's not like this is some like, 18, 19-year-old kid that's just figuring life out. This is a 31-year-old man.
and OP, like honestly, very empathetic, like honestly, more empathy than he deserved, was like, maybe he doesn't understand what he's doing wrong. Let me break it down and educate and share.
And he did not take that well.
And all he did was get worse. So it's like you gave him all the frankly more chances than he deserved.
Yeah. So I think completely not the a-hole.
Cut him out.
Yeah, cut him
Kick
out.
him out of the school.
And also, but I do appreciate that you're being so empathetic, OP.
Yes,
I mean, like,
for sure.
You're part of the OK fam. We love you.
That's great.
But I think I would not worry about him. I would worry about yourself and making sure you have an environment that you enjoy in school.
Yeah, yourself and then the 23-year-old
Exactly.
group classmate.
Yeah.
For sure.
But Johnny boy, you got
Sammy
something
boy.
else for me?
I do. Today I effed up by getting assigned a group project and getting sent memes. What? I don't really know what's going to happen here.
I don't
What's
have
going down?
enough context to even think about.
You get
anything.
into a group project and then wait. Tinfoil. I have a conspiracy theory. All right. Okay, get ready.
That your tinfoil hat.
You know,
has been put through the ringer.
I'm just passionate about my conspiracy theories.
I like the nipple hats.
Great, yeah. But honestly, we love the nipple hats.
Someone commented about the nipple hats,
Yeah.
and you know what? I take that as a point of pride.
Yeah, honestly, it's amazing. But so my conspiracy theory is that OP's in this group project, and then for whatever reason, some person is like, not only am I gonna like not work and tank the project,
I'm gonna
plant
sabotage.
memes.
Mm.
I'm gonna plant crazy memes in this person's whatever, like computer or something. Get them framed. Boom. 0.
You know,
0%.
actually,
Beef.
I have a
Beef.
story about UCLA meme page.
Ooh, okay. Story time.
Okay, story time.
Let's go. Okay, so let's get into the story. This comes from Keanu Gaming XD. They say, "What's up, bros?" So I'm basically in a business class, and our midterm project had randomly, all caps, assigned groups. This is important context for this crap that happened to me.
Dude, random groups are rough.
So I was assigned this kid. Let's call him James. I've never talked to James and basically knew nothing about this kid. Everything was going fine with our project, and he surprisingly is pretty good at getting stuff done. Better than me, anyways. Sounds like OP might be the dud
coaster.
of the group.
Yeah.
Don't be a coaster, OP. Come on.
Yeah, sounds pretty fratty.
Yeah. Really. What's
Yeah,
up,
what's
bros?
up, bros?
Yeah. But basically, we met in the library after class to finish up our project last Tuesday. He started talking more about random crap that I frankly don't care about. Politics, religion, and the NFL. One of these things was about how our professor was someone who can't be trusted. I should have known some stuff was up when this picture was sent to me, which was it's
a Pepe the meme, yeah.
which I think has been associated with like crazy
the
fringe alt-right
like
stuff.
QAnon stuff.
Yeah, okay. So we might have like a super alt-righter here. I was so confused, but basically he went into the story about how our professor and this girl in the front row, Abigail, might be sleeping together or something. His reasoning was because she answers a lot of his questions in class.
Oh, they must be doing pillow talk where she's getting all the answers.
And the smoking gun,
What?
she seems the type.
Bro, that is
So much evidence.
wild conjecture.
Damning evidence. This crap was crazy and important for context. I think he was kind of joking, but I don't think it's okay. Anyways, I brushed off this crazy dude's comments and just finished up my work. I go to our class on Thursday, and this kid keeps sending me memes all class. I had this effort's group me DMs open on my laptop, and I'm 100% sure this professor saw the memes. Basically, my F up was having this blasted on my PC screen in front of the whole class.
Oh, no.
I think I ruined my reputation, but I don't know. What is the meme? For context, Professor Horowitz failing everyone but Abigail. And I'm getting some very anti-Semitic vibes going on here. Some very anti-Semitic vibes.
Why?
Isn't Horowitz a Jewish name, or am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy has like a big nose.
Big nose, and just like, I could be wrong.
Wow,
Maybe
John.
I'm anti-Semitic over here. Oh,
John.
God. Dude,
Wow.
misogynist and anti-Semite,
Wow,
I am losing over here. I say I'm sure because he sent me an email after class saying he wants me in his office to discuss some of the messages he saw on my laptop when he passed by me. I don't know what I'm going to say to my professor. I'm also worried because this stuff is worth 35% of our total grade.
Yeah.
I mean, this is make or break.
Bro, just who cares about this dude? Just tell him, throw him under the bus.
Yeah, for real. Like, which is true. Like, it's not you. Anyways, yeah, this is how I effed up. Basically, by existing and being a biz student with an edgy troll, pretty sure I'm just going to rat this mother effer out. So hopefully I'm fine. But this is why we should not have group projects, to be honest, and to not keep memes on your PC.
Yep.
And edit, I'm just realizing, and I guess I should have pointed out that our professor is Jewish, I guess.
Yeah. So that's definitely anti-Semitic.
So now I understand the meme more. Holy crap. So, boom!
So bad, dude.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yikes.
Wow.
I wonder if the professor's going to believe him.
Yeah. Because that's pretty like, oh, he sent it to me.
Yeah. But I mean, like meme pages at colleges are fairly degenerate.
That's true. And you have an okay story time. One final thing I want to point out, though, he could show the chat history,
not responded at all,
and it's just like, here's all of him sending it to me and me not responding, and when you walked by, I just happened to have his DMs open for our group project or whatever. You could probably
I think OP's gonna be fine.
I think OP will skate by, but are you fine? What happened with your dangerous memes?
I was of the era where schools just started meme pages.
Like official school meme pages?
Yeah. So like my meme page was UCLA memes for sickest tweens. And
that was school.
No, it's just
sanctioned?
on Facebook. No, it's on Facebook. But the thing is, these meme pages would just like blow up. Like I think we had like 70,000 or 80,000 people in that meme page.
Insane.
Because people from outside of UCLA who wanted to go to UCLA would just join the meme page. It was active. Like if you posted a good meme, you could get like 1,000 likes on a post. And so during physics class, I remember me and one of my friends started a trend that lasted for months on our meme page, where we would where we would take screen grabs from like porn and then caption it, where it's like,
hell yeah.
Where here? I actually here. Let's
we have the evidence. The smoking gun.
And to be clear, this was bigger than just the meme page, but we brought it to the meme page. And after that, like it was nothing but those kinds of memes for months. Let's see.
Are you saying the people were biting your flow? That you started it all?
Okay. So UCLA, 66,000 members. They're very specific. But like, for example, this is one of our libraries, and this was one my friend posted. When freshmen are talking too loud in Powell.
Oh gosh, dude, that's so
coming. There's a place where you could get bananas. And it was this one was coming out of B plate with a bunch of stolen bananas. Like,
oh my god.
And it started a whole trend.
I had a meme page of someone bullying me.
What?
Yeah. It was F, bro. So, my high school days, there weren't a lot of guys. I went to like a very like early college thing. There were more for every guy. There were 2 girls. It was a dream. So there was this one guy, one head honcho guy. Dude, I'm gonna just go after him right now. I have some things, but
let's go.
Everyone would call him by his last name, And they called him by his last name so much that he changed his first name to his last name.
Oh.
So it was like last name, last name.
Like Fry.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
Anyway, you probably would like him. That makes me mad. Anyway,
I wouldn't like him if he bullied you.
No.
yeah, but he was the head honcho. And if you didn't like kiss his ass, like everybody in the group would hate you. And that's kind of how it went. So I was like, you know what? I don't really care. I was more athletic than everyone. Like I was just like, people were jealous of me just because of who I was.
That's what I'm talking
go.
about.
Yeah, that's really what it was. They won't admit it. Anywho, I was on the basketball team. He was too. I was better than him. 2-time MVP.
Get effed.
He just would hate me.
Yeah.
So there's just one guy in there. This guy literally, if you're watching this, I hope you are, he literally looked like Sid from Toy Story. Like, no joke. He dressed up like him for Halloween. Like, he looked like that.
Yeah.
This kid, like, was kind of disturbed. He had some things going on in his life. But this kid hated me so much because I wasn't a part of the group and didn't, like, follow the initiative or whatever, that he made a meme page about me and blamed his world problems on me. So it was like, it was a picture of me from my high school days. And it was like a bad picture in one of the high school pictures. And it was like, Riley Wilson, gay ass N-word. And then he would say, I blame all of my world problems on Riley Wilson. And then it was just like 2 pictures. And it was like, I didn't get hot sauce with my Zaxby's. F you, Riley Wilson. Or like, it was like a picture of him, of just a room. And it was like, I just stubbed my toe on my bed. F you, Riley Wilson. And everyone that followed that meme page, I blocked them.
Smart.
And hit up the vice principal and was like, hey, I think this is kind of funny, but I should probably let you know that this is happening. Because this guy had some like scholarships lined up. Like this guy was smart, but he just didn't like me and he got deleted or whatever. I don't really know what happened after that, but apparently he's a good guy now.
You think I would like this guy?
No, not you, but everyone that I've talked to outside of high school has been like, oh, he's a good guy. He's changed. I'm like, I don't know.
Hey, Sid. Guess who's living in a mansion in Santa Monica producing one of the hottest podcasts on planet Earth? Not you.
Get wrecked, Sid.
Yeah.
Man, that felt good. I felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, meme pages are...
Round of applause for our boy right now. You're up. You're up, dude.
Yeah, meme pages are
F that
crazy,
guy.
dude.
F that guy. Wow.
Yeah.
You know what else is crazy?
What?
This next story.
Yeah.
It's the craziest because it's the final most crazy story.
I told my sister that she was being ridiculous over a school project. Am I the a-hole? And this comes from AdHelps C8923. And they say, my 37 female sister, 34 female, is married to her husband, 33 male, and they have 7 kids in total. 3 kids from my sister's first marriage, 16 female, 15 female, 12 male. Her husband has 3 kids from his old marriage, 15 female, 14 male, and 11 male. And they have 1 son together, 5 male.
Whoa.
Big family. And are currently found out they are having another.
Oh my God.
The 5-year-old Jackson is in kindergarten and recently did an All About Me type of project, the ones that the kids list their favorite things. On this sheet, they included my hero as well. On the sheet, he put my sister's middle stepchild, who would be Jackson's 14-year-old half-brother, Boston. He also mentioned Boston's friends. For context, my sister is a stay-at-home mom. Only her husband works. They had an agreement to not try to force relationships too hard, especially because her husband experienced that as a child. Most of the kids don't spend too much time with Jackson and never have, especially given the age gap between them. Boston, however, was always very excited when they announced they were having a baby, and Boston always spent a lot of time with him. Boston's friends did as well, as they frequently go to each other's houses.
That's cute.
Boston and his friends are all athletes doing various sports at middle school. Boston still is a teenage boy, and he clashes with his biological siblings quite frequently. He's very nice and a sweet boy, but has a lot of energy and is very opinionated. Jackson, like Boston. So again, Jackson is the 5-year-old.
Yep.
And Boston is the 14-year-old half-brother.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson, like Boston, has shown an interest in sports. This makes them closer as Boston is the only kid out of the 6 older one who plays sports. Jackson has done soccer and baseball. The issue is how my sister reacted to Jackson putting Boston plus his friends as his hero. I was at her house helping her bring in furniture she bought at the store for the new baby when we went to pick up Jackson. He gave her the project after we walked in the door. She started asking him about the hero part, and he was talking about how Boston and his friends are cool and how he wants to be like them when he grows up. That's cute.
Oh, this is great.
That's
I'm waiting
adorable.
for the ball to drop. I'm terrified.
After Jackson went in his room, my sister was talking about how he was ungrateful. She said she could understand why Boston was there, but went on about his friends being there, saying stuff like, did Boston's friends ever change his diaper? And did they ever feed him? She went on to say maybe she'd need to have Jackson spend less time with Boston and his friends.
Oh no.
That's so sad.
No.
I told her to stop being ridiculous and that Jackson is just a kid and he's allowed to put who he wants on his project.
He's 5.
Yeah, dude.
Give the kid some slack.
And that she should know that he loves her and her husband. She argued with me for a bit until we got back to dealing with the baby furniture, and I thought everything was good. However, later in the day, I got a call from our parents telling me that I should apologize to my sister, and they said I was being an a-hole and a jerk for telling her she was overreacting. However, when I told my husband about it, he agreed with me. So, am I the a-hole?
He's 5. 5 years old, right?
He is 5 years old.
5 years old. He's like a baby.
Yeah, dude.
And also,
And it's the most wholesome thing. It's like
adorable.
my brother is my hero. That's like a classic one.
Come on, man. And like all the like brothers' friends, like so adorable. Just
Yeah.
like honestly, I would think a parent's dream. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, the brothers are getting along.
That
Like,
would be
this is-
amazing. This is, I mean, it's just coming out of jealousy.
Yeah. Which, like, hey, moms do so much work, so thankless, all that jazz. But like, yeah, man, cut my
He's
boy,
5.
cut my boy Jackson some
He's
slack.
5. And
Yeah.
the fact that she's like trying to take away that relationship because she's insecure is bonkers.
It's gonna only, and also this will only. You think that will make him like want to put you on the My Hero?
Yeah.
The opposite. You're going on the top of the My Villain project now.
Oh yeah, dude. You're about to create his villain origin story. But wow. I mean, what would you do in this situation? What would you tell the mom? I would love to know what you think in the comments.
Free my boy Jackson.
Even,
yo.
oh yeah, if it's your sister, what would you tell Sophia if she was acting like this?
What if she was being like,
Right, because this is yeah.
if she was like, I'm not letting him hang out with these friends, I would be like, you're dumb. Why would you do that? I also want to hear about your meme pages. If anyone had college meme pages,
Yeah.
let us know in the comments.
Drop
I
some
know,
links.
Yeah, I know mine were very sophomoric and dumb, but hey, you know what? I was
That's what
I
memes
was
are,
young
baby.
in college, baby, and
That's
it
what memes
was
are.
it was a young time for memes.
I laughed. I thought they were funny.
Thanks, John.
I thought they were
John
funny.
thought they were funny.
I approve. So also, hey, throw some hearts
in the chat for
chat.
Riley.
There's
Big
some
protein.
hate towards the people that did that. That's what I don't
Riley's like,
I don't
no.
know, damn hearts.
Yeah, I would fire and brimstone.
Tell us your school stories, your group project stories.
That's
We'd
right.
love to hear it in the comments.
My wife shared a tent with a college fling on a recent camping trip back home. How do I respond to this?
Oh man, that's close quarters.
That's tough. My wife and I have been married for a couple of years now. I knew that back in college, she had one experience with another girl. We'll call this girl Katie. This came after a breakup. The two of them had gotten high while watching Netflix, and one thing led to another.
Netflix and chill.
Literally Netflix and chilling. She told me that she really enjoyed the experience, but it had never happened again with her or any other ladies.
Okay.
I do have reason to suspect from our personal spicy sleep life that she is still attracted to women.
Probably bi.
Probably bi. Recently, my wife visited her hometown to see friends and family. I couldn't go due to work commitments. Over the weekend, she went camping with some old friends. Apparently, Katie was there. My wife claims that she didn't know this would happen. Okay, fine. They camp for one night and my wife comes home a few days later. As we talk about the trip, it slips out that my wife wasn't able to find her old camping gear. I just lost it, you know? I looked for it everywhere.
And I didn't have a sleeping bag either.
I was so cold.
And I lost all my clothes.
It was crazy.
And I had to stay warm.
I would have frozen to death. Do you want me to freeze to death?
Do you want me to die?
Wow.
So I had to huddle up like the penguins in March of the Penguins.
I had to do it.
I had to do it. Body on body, fur on
body.
fur,
Waddling.
beak on beak,
Yep.
meat on meat.
So, whose tent did she use? It comes out that she ended up sharing a tent with Katie, a one-person tent.
You're joking.
One-person tent.
You're joking.
One person.
You're telling me there wasn't one other person that she could have shared with?
Nobody. No, nobody on earth.
Dude, they're butt to nut.
Or butt to butt.
Butt to butt. Butt to butt. Butt to cut.
But that scissor.
They're butt to cut, dude.
That's pretty good. She claims nothing happened, but I am highly skeptical now. The whole thing just reeks to me. I don't really have any evidence at this point, but I'm tempted to go through her phone when I get the chance. How should I proceed? And we have some top comments that are responding to everything in the story and an update. But let's pause right here.
If you go through her phone, you are damaging the relationship. Just to be clear. To be clear.
You're now committing an a-hole move.
You are committing an a-hole move, and you are destroying the trust in the relationship.
Yes.
So don't do that.
Don't do it.
Don't do that. But maybe like, hey, I feel uncomfortable and with what you did, and is there any way that you can make me feel more comfortable?
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Because you can share how it made you feel, and you're not even attacking her in that stance, but you're still communicating that like I don't like this.
Yeah.
I don't want this kind of thing to happen, and she'll probably.
It's pretty whack, dude.
It's pretty whack.
If I had a significant other share a one-person tent with someone they had hooked up with in the past, especially like the only other person they had hooked up with,
Yes.
Are you serious?
I would be pretty uncomfortable.
Also, so I was going to double check. So she went home to see family and friends because I was like, what if she has like a cousin or something that she could share a tent with? It was only friends that went on the camping trip, but presumably she didn't hook up with any of the other friends on the trip. So it's just ask to stay in one of their tents.
Yeah, and also think about your partner.
Yeah.
Too, right? Like if I'm in that situation, I would probably be like, "Oh, my partner might not be comfortable with that."
Exactly. And just say that.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe she's not thinking about it. I don't know. You know what? But you know what I'm always comfortable with, John?
What?
People hitting that freaking subscribe button.
Oh, so cozy.
Be
here.
butt to cut with that subscribe button right now.
I'm so subscribed.
Slam it.
I'm warm in the arms of my subscription.
But I want to hear the rest of the story.
Okay, so Potent Technicality says, I'd bring up the fact that she shared a one-person tent with someone she slept with in the past. That's a horrible choice, and she doesn't get a pass because they're both women. Bill 2550 says, sounds like the trickle truth is beginning.
Trickle truth, yep. Classic case of trickle truth.
About tickles.
Because he didn't even say, oh, she told me. It slipped out.
Slipped out. She couldn't find her camping gear, and gosh darn, so lucky Katie was there to share hers. Did they get high together? Did they cuddle? Kiss? Yeah, did they? I mean, this is old friends. Were they freaking token up?
Could have been
Puffing
token.
and passing? It's possible. If you grill her a little and she admits to more of it, then borrow her phone and posing as her, send Katie a text. What was your favorite part of camping together? Then tell her to sit with you until Katie responds. Then also tell her this is her last chance to tell you the full truth. Okay, so let me make sure I'm reading this part of the comment right.
I think I understand it.
So basically, like, tell her, hey, send Katie this text.
Yeah. Hey, I feel uncomfortable. So I think a way that you can make me feel more comfortable is if I send her a text from your phone, basically asking the favorite part of it, and we sit together until she responds.
Totally. Yeah. Yes, I think that is true. How exactly do you think she would feel if you spent the night with in a one-man tent with a woman you had a one-night stand with?
Yeah.
Just because you're the same sex does not make it okay unless you are okay with it. It's a lot harder to be walked on when you're standing up. Whoa.
Fire bar.
Dang. And the final relevant comment here sounds premeditated, and they were intimate and not by accident. Oh gosh, I forgot my tent. Not buying it.
I'm also I find it hard to believe that she didn't know that the friend was coming. Like, this sounds like an old, like, friend reunion.
I think she knew the friend was coming.
If she, okay, because I believe in that part of the story, it sounds like she didn't know the friend was coming. In the earlier part of the story, if she knew the friend was coming and didn't tell OP, that is also a red flag.
Yeah, let me see.
It sounds like red flag if she knew the friend was coming and didn't say anything to OP. Red flag.
You're right.
Which I don't think is the case, but how did she? When you do a camping trip, everyone's in a group chat. You're all like linking up. There's like things to plan.
Yeah.
There's no way OP didn't know she was going to be there.
Yeah, apparently Katie was there. My wife claims that she didn't know this would happen.
Yeah,
So-
I'm calling BS on that.
Yeah, I think
They
so.
may not have hooked up, but
BS on that. Yeah. Well, we might have an answer, Mr. Donner.
update.
Okay. There's an update. Yup. So, ended up talking with one of our mutual friends who went on this trip. She confirmed my suspicions, saying that my wife and Katie were acting weird and even sneaking off together at times.
Oh, brutal.
Tough.
Brutal. Okay.
Tough.
Confirmed.
I used this information to confront my wife, and she eventually caved and let me see her phone. I went through her texts with Katie to see that they had been texting and flirting for the past few weeks, even sending each other provocative selfies and reminiscing about what happened on the camping trip.
Oh,
Do we know? Can we guess what happened on the camping trip?
butt to cut.
Can we guess? I was able to send most of these messages to my computer in case it's needed for the divorce proceedings.
They're married.
And that little sentence tells me it's not looking too good for the relationship.
Looking
like a divorce.
Trickle
Capital D.
truth.
I appreciate everyone's time and advice. It's a crappy situation, but I'm glad to be moving forward, and it closes out with these two short, relevant comments. Banitage says, time to rip the Band-Aid off. 2 years is nothing, and you're still young. She lied and lied again. Trust is gone. No kids? Get a lawyer and file. KJ says, yeah, don't look back. You deserve to be with someone who mutually loves and respects you, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen.
There were so many opportunities. Like, it was, I think the thing that is rough about this is it's more and more obvious that this was a premeditated thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we didn't get 1,000% crystal clear confirmation of this in the story. Everyone watching, Sam Riley, do we think they hooked up on the camping trip?
Oh,
Probably, of course they did,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. 100%.
Did-
Yes.
Wait, didn't she say that she reminisced
Yeah,
on
they
the
were
relationship?
they were reminiscing. They were reminiscing
Exactly.
on the camping trip about hooking up. Like, wasn't it?
100%.
Wasn't
It said they were reminiscing about the camping trip.
and sending spicy pictures to each other?
Come
They were
on.
sending provocative selfies.
Oh yeah.
Bro, they
Provocative
hooked.
selfies.
They hooked.
You can't be going on a camping trip and not do that.
Yeah.
Sending provocative selfies
Yeah.
and not do that.
Kevin is the dumbest student I have ever taught, and here's a few reasons why. This is the tale of Kevin the Fool.
It's not uncommon as a teacher to have students who are a bit behind the curve in certain aspects.
But 99.99999% of the time,
They are keen on something. They might not understand how to identify a noun or what theme is, but they know how to make a mean plate of nachos. You learn pretty quick not to judge fish by their tree climbing ability, you know?
Smart. I like that
everyone
analogy.
has their different areas of competency.
That's right.
I thought this was the rule when I was teaching until I met Kevin. Kevin isn't his real name, but it doesn't matter because he can't spell it anyway. Kevin was a student of mine my last year of teaching. He came to my classroom with very little to show for his academic past. He had moved a few times and thus was missing a lot of typical test scores that we use to try to ballpark their ability. I thought, that's fine. I'll do some one-on-one with Kevin to see what's up. One-on-one with Kevin was like conversing with someone who'd forgotten everything in a freak, if not impossible, amnesia accident. There was no evidence that he had learned anything past the second grade, and now he was in 9th grade.
Oh, God.
Flabbergasted, I figured we needed to get more serious with this. If he was going to be in my class,
I needed to know why and how. I decided to meet with him, his guidance counselor, his parents, and another teacher to see what was really going on. This is when it all became so clear. It was by some incredible fluke that his family hadn't been wiped off the face of the earth years ago. Odds are his entire heritage was based on blind luck and some type of sick divine intervention that saves his family every time a threat presents itself. Kevin was the genetic pinnacle of this null achievement. Even my instructional lead, a woman who could find a redeeming trait in a Balrog, failed to see any reason this kid or his family should be alive today.
Yikes.
So here's a list of events that made it abundantly clear that God exists, and he's laughing uncontrollably. Kevin frequently forgot when and where class was. On more than one occasion, I had to retrieve him from other classrooms. Kevin ate an entire 24-pack of crayons, puked, and then did it again the next day.
No.
This was 9th grade. I have no idea where he got the crayons. Kevin's dad wrote tuition checks and mailed them to me, his English teacher. This was a public school. When I gave it back to Kevin, voided, to give to his dad with a brief note explaining that this is a public school, Kevin got in trouble for trying to spend it at a 7-Eleven after school. Kevin was removed from the culinary arts program after leaving a cutting board on the gas stove and starting a fire twice. Kevin threw his lunch at the school resource officer and tried to run away. He ran into a door and insisted it wasn't him. Kevin stole my phone during class. I called it, it rang, and he denied that it was ringing. Not that it wasn't his, not that he did it. No, he denied that the phone was ringing.
Keep them on their toes.
Yeah, exactly.
Never let them know your next move.
He tried it 3 times before the end of the year. Kevin called the basketball coach during gym. Basketball tryouts were that afternoon. Kevin tried out. It did not go well. Kevin's mom could never remember which school he went to. She missed several meetings because she drove to other schools, none of which he went to. Kevin tased himself in the neck before a football game. Kevin kept a bottle of orange Kool-Aid in his backpack for 4 months. He thought it would turn into alcohol. He drank it during homeroom and threw up. Kevin said the N-word a lot. Kevin was white. The high school was 84% black. Kevin got beat up a lot. You think he would learn?
Kevin.
Kevin stole another student's iPhone and tried to sell it back to them. Kevin didn't understand that his grade was dependent on tests, quizzes, homework, classwork, and participation. Kevin finished his first semester with a 3% average. He tried to bribe me with $11. Kevin spit on a girl and said, "You should get out of those wet clothes." The girl was the Spanish student teacher. Kevin didn't know that cats and dogs were different animals. Kevin tried to download corn onto a computer in the library at the circulation desk while he was logged on. Kevin asked a girl to prom. He was in the 9th grade, and freshmen don't go to prom, by asking for her phone number and then texting her his address. Kevin got gum in his hair constantly. Kevin regularly tried to cheat on assignments by knocking the pile over, grabbing one before I had picked them all up, and then writing his name on it wherever there was room. Kevin and his parents took a trip to Nassau, and they forgot all their luggage at home. I didn't believe him when he told me until I talked to his mom, who told me first thing when I saw her at the bi-weekly meeting. Kevin's grandfather apparently died in a chainsaw accident. I can only assume God was looking the other way that day.
Opie's a great writer.
Relevant comments. I have to ask, was he popular with the girls? It was like watching a greased up orangutan try to climb up a water slide. This is from OP. We were doing an assignment on personification, and I had people describe their pets using it. Kevin didn't have any pets, but he said his neighbor had a cat and he played with it sometime. He listed off 3 or 4 things, and it became really apparent that he was describing a dog. At first, I thought that maybe he had trouble figuring out the right way to say it, but after 2 or 3 sentences, it was abundantly clear that this was a really big dog. Someone else who lived on the same street put 2 and 2 together as well and said, "Kevin, that's not a cat, that's so-and-so's black lab." Kevin was absolutely floored that A, someone else lived on his street, and B, there was a difference between a black lab and house cat. Like, I am only guessing, but I think to him, dog and cat were interchangeable terms like hat and cap. OP also says, despite numerous tests and assessments and meetings and just overall study, no one could ever say he had any kind of learning disability. No IEP, no 504, no special file, no caseworker or advocate. Just Kevin, his mom, his dad, and 0 brain matter. I'm pretty sure his mother was some kind of physical therapist. His dad, No idea. I only met them a few times, but he always wore a pretty nice suit, or at least was business casual. They both drove decently new cars, and his house was in a nice subdivision. I'm assuming that for what they lacked in common sense, they made up for in specialized knowledge of some sort. For all I know, his dad could be a brilliant plastic surgeon. And there is an update on Kevin, because this story was like years ago.
It's a legendary one.
Yeah, this is a legendary story. So there is an update, but also like I have this friend that is the ditziest human ever. If I call a friend, he'll have a story.
There we go.
Should I do
Ooh,
it?
I like that.
What's up, dude?
Do you have like 3 minutes? Basically, we're telling this story about this guy named Kevin, and it reminded me about our mutual friend. And I was wondering if you had a story that you could share.
Our ditziest friend?
No,
Ditziest or-
ditziest.
A story about Sorry. So once called me. She has lost her keys and she's locked out of her car. And I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? She's like, can you come to Hollywood from West LA with the keys? And I was like, hell no. It's like a 40-minute one-way trip, so that'll take me 1.5 hours back and forth. I was like, well, can I just put them in an Uber? She's like, no, don't do that. I was like, why not? She's like, I just don't trust that. And I was like, well, the Uber's not gonna like go around every car in LA and try and steal every car.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it'll probably be safe. But she said no, decided to hire a locksmith and get a car open for $400. And I was like, why didn't you just Uber back and forth if you were so scared of like giving it? She's like, oh, I just didn't think of that. And I was like, okay. And then the keys were always in her bag.
Oh,
She just never
no.
checked. She just never checked her bag.
Okay, dude, I have to get back to recording, but I appreciate your stories.
Love you, buddy.
Love you, dude. Kevin is doing pretty well. We are actually coming up on about 10 years since I had Kevin as a student. He's since graduated on time, gotten married, and has a house.
Wow.
He works as a sous chef at a fairly high-end restaurant here in town. He's taken some CC classes, which leads me to believe that he may be looking at going out on his own career-wise. I think that largely he grew out of his immaturity, as most kids eventually do, and perhaps having a kid in his teens sobered him up. Dude, that's the thing. Like sometimes with like the ditziness, it's like just around common sense things. Like
Yeah.
my the friend that I was describing that's super ditzy is like super smart creator, but normal stuff, like she just doesn't get.
I low-key suck at a lot of normal stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I have my own moments, kind of like Kevin, a little.
Yeah.
I'm not
Our
quite as
own
bad.
Kevin moments. I want to know our audience's Kevin stories.
Oh,
do you have any
definitely.
Kevins in your life?
That's right. And speaking of our beautiful audience, Sam, I'm going to read some comments from our public subscribers.
Let's do it.
This is from the video, coworker demands I take a paternity test, but there's something he does not know. This is the one where OP's coworker thinks he boned his wife, but OP is actually gay. From public subscriber Lisa Ross, redhead here. Red hair is rare and only 2% of people have it as a recessive gene, and it requires both parents to be carriers. However, about 20% of people carry the gene, and the chance of having redhead children when both parents are carriers is 25%. Wow.
Oh,
So-
wow. We're getting some genetics lessons right here.
Some serious knowledge. So it often skips generations and turns up unexpectedly. There's redheads dotted throughout my family tree, and many of them didn't have parents with red hair. The dad is just ignorant and obviously has some unhealthy ideas about the dominance of his genes. Wow. Lisa Ross, thank you so much for educating us and dropping
Thank you.
some knowledge. And if you all want to drop some knowledge or some fun, spicy stories, publicly subscribe, drop your comment below. We just might read it.
My parents took student loans in my name to buy a boat. So I threatened to sue them.
I guess you're getting a boat.
I graduated college 4 years ago, and I rarely speak to my mother or father, maybe 2 to 3 times per year. And even then, it's only for a few minutes. They refused to let me play sports in high school or have a social life. And by the way, this comes from user Am I the Throw on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So they've basically cut me out of their lives since I and about 75 other people got a city drinking ticket 7 years ago in college. I don't know what that is. Let me know if you know what that is in the comments. Since I live about 800 miles away, I only go back to my hometown once a year, either for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Most years I stay with a friend or at a hotel, and last year I stayed with my parents. No way in heck am I going back for either this year. Just about 5 months before I graduated college, my parents bought a boat. I know they got a good deal on it and they have used it a lot. They took it out of the water for the season in early October. I've literally never seen it in person, just pictures from Facebook. Last week, I had texted my father, first contact since March, and let him know I would be able to make it back for Christmas. About a minute later, he called and over the course of 5 minutes explained how he and my mother decided that since their last child was about through college, they would buy a boat. The only problem was they didn't have the $20,000 they needed to buy it. He said, "Wait a minute. Yes, I do. I have a son I can exploit."
That's how it works.
What was their solution? Taking out a student loan in my name, of course. My mailing address was always their house through college, so I was none the wiser. Why was my dad telling me about it now, 4 years after the fact? Because they can't pay it back. They actually never paid any of it back. They kept putting it in forbearance, but that ran out early this year. Fast forward 7 or 8 missed payments later, and my dad tells me the only reason he's telling me now is because he doesn't want me to bring it up at Christmas, and he knows it's going to default in a month or two. His exact words were, quote, "If you're going to make a big deal about this, it's best if you don't come home this year."
What? What?
If you're going to make a big deal about us committing felony fraud against you, then maybe you shouldn't come home for
Just
Christmas.
stay out there. Sonny, this is you making it up to us. We've been helping you, live your life as parents. The boat's for us. Thanks.
I earned this boat taking you to none of those football practices that you wanted to participate in and never taking you to the mall when you wanted to go hang out with your friends. I earned this by keeping you safe. Anyway, he also said it's about 25 grand that I would need to pay it off. I hung up and I just sat in shock for a couple of minutes. I called my brother yesterday and told him what was happening and that I think I'm going to sue them for whatever it takes to pay off the loan. I still don't know what that amount is yet. I should probably find out by next week. I'm cool with my brother and he's cool with my parents, and I'm sure he'd probably talk to them because this morning I get a text from my mom just saying, "Do not sue us."
I guarantee you he asked his brother, like, "Hey, bro, did mom and dad ever take a student loan out in your name?"
Yeah.
Or was I just the black sheep here?
Yeah, did they do this with everybody or just me? I texted her back saying she would need to immediately pay off the entire loan and show me proof. She texts back that I need to grow up. Obviously, I'm not even going to respond to that. The boat is probably worth half of what they paid for it by now, and with the hours they've put on it. I don't know if they have the money or not to pay up immediately if I sue them, but I figure I can at least garnish their wages. My other brother called and asked me to hold off a few months before doing anything, and that it was crappy of them to do that, but to give them a chance to start paying it off. We have an update 1 year later.
Do you think any of it's been paid off?
No. I think none of
I
it's
think
been
they
paid.
started in the beginning. They started a little bit, and they're like, he'll forget about it.
Update. This update is a happy ending of sorts. Basically, what happened is that I did end up having to make a police report about what happened. My parents weren't arrested, but they were charged with deceptive practice. As part of a negotiated deal, they agreed to become responsible for the debt, and they received 12 months of court supervision. The student loan company removed the loans from my name, then made it clear they planned on suing my parents and myself. My parents for obvious reasons, and myself because I benefited from the crime, which is my degree. What?
Guess it's in his name.
But you didn't get the degree. They bought the boat.
It's still through him, and he didn't know.
But none of that money was used for him to get the degree.
It's a student loan. I don't know. I don't listen.
And
don't listen to
people
me.
wonder why people hate higher institutions. Because they're constantly trying to screw you over.
Money, 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 money.
My parents and I spoke to a lawyer who agreed that they probably could come after me for at least some of the debt. Our lawyer and their in-house counsel came up with a deal that basically said if I paid half myself, they'd forever give up their right to sue me or try to collect the other half from me. I wasn't crazy about the deal, but it's cheaper than going to court where I'd likely be found to be jointly liable with my parents for the full $25,000 and attorney fees. I paid my part of it 3 months ago, and it's like I've never had student loans. Nothing on my record at all regarding it. My parents sold the boat for a loss and are making payments on the remainder of the balance. They've apologized to me pretty profusely about it, and I do think they're remorseful. As a cherry on top, my brother told me they opened a credit card in his name around the same time. They took out the student loans. So he wasn't alone, like you
I
said.
told you, yeah. Like, I can't be the only one in this. I can't.
We didn't want your brother to miss out on being defrauded, so we decided to include him in some light
Yeah, everyone gets
credit card
involved.
fraud. He only found out about this after going to purchase a house, and the loan officer asked him about it. That was paid off in full before he found out about it, though. Oh, dude, I think I figured it out. I don't know for a fact. I think we might have read this story from the other brother's perspective.
Oh, what?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so, which is honestly pretty cool.
Okay.
So let's keep going. I speak to my parents maybe once a month now, more than in the past, and our relationship is still fairly cool, but not nearly as bad as what it was. Also, I definitely did not go to Christmas last year. I think I will be going this year, though. And there's an edit regarding what's going on with the joint liability. I don't understand that either. My parents paid 50% of my rent my senior year of college. I also, unhappily, while interviewing, lived with them for half of a year after school. They asked for half and wiped it off my credit forever. It's more than 50% of rent, but I was done with it. I had a decently paying job now and wanted to move on. I did a crappy job of wording it, but they sold the boat for about $9,000 paid to the lender, and I paid about $8,000, a little more than half of what my rent was, and they're making payments on their $8,000. Apologies for not being more clear. But by the way, I'll be extremely clear that you can join us every weekday at 3 p.m. PST when we go live on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitch. Just tap on our profile and you can join the live on any of those platforms.
Easy.
And we might even be live right now, but before you check, let's finish. I'm going no contact with these people.
Oh, easily.
For years, probably.
Oh, I just the fact that they were kind of like gas lamping OP, like, don't do us, don't do this, don't. Oh, you're gonna get upset. Don't come home. Like, who are you?
Yeah,
you're in the fault here, and now you're bringing me down with you. You guys suck. You guys, what crappy parents.
That's just truly it's stories like this that sometimes you're like, wow, it could have been so much worse.
It could have been so much worse. That's the thing. I was gonna say it could have been so much worse. I was like, oh, he could have gone. I was like, maybe he gets the boat. He doesn't get the boat. No one gets the boat.
I'm just lucky. I'm so lucky to have had parents that like wanted me to have good credit instead of literally committing fraud against me and destroying my credit.
Using your name for fraud.
Yeah, like
Yikes.
it's wild to me that anyone could do that. But I think OP, I don't know if I would like give it some more time until they like, I know they're profusely apologizing, but actions speak louder than words.
It already seems like you didn't have that close of a relationship with your parents anyway, and you were kind of just going on your own.
Yeah.
You're going your own way. So
I wouldn't be too quick to definitely don't trust them.
No.
Yeah, there's no trust there financially, that's for sure. Anyway, another edit before we finish the story here. All right, maybe I should have gotten a different lawyer. I just wanted it to go away with no lawsuit. Looking like that was short-sighted. Overall, I'm okay with it, though. I never paid my parents back for the 50% rent in college. They were just going to let it be, and I feel like I've made up for that now. Really good advice in this comment. If you're worried about it happening to you, just don't get a crappy lawyer.
Or just don't have a crappy parents.
Advice, yeah.
Both ways.
And you know, I wouldn't accept any apology from them until they fully reimburse you for anything that you had to pay legal fee wise. Like,
yeah, the fact they don't understand like what they caused you and all the turmoil and like
yeah,
what they were doing. They're like, it will be fine.
Yeah, they've essentially completely eroded any trust in the like father or mother and son dynamic.
Just like how all the brothers were
trust.
like, just wait. Yeah, like wait, hold on.
Yeah.
But that is the end of that story.
I want to catch up dinner with my high school ex. Now everyone's upset because I let him on. By the way, this comes from Plenty Shoulder 8452. So on the r/showcase storytime subreddit. So I, 30 female, am currently engaged to my partner, 30 male of 11 years, and we have 2 daughters together and are very happy. My fiance, we will call him Nick, was always aware of my ex from high school as they have spoken in the past. my ex, let's call him Donnie, dated. We dated in intermediate/junior high, but started off as just really good friends. We were both really close with each other's parents as well, and I was like a little sister to his siblings, 2 brothers and 1 sister. This fact is important. When my dad passed away, him and his family showed up and traveled 6 hours to support me and my mom at the funeral. We were living in the city at the time, but after my dad passed away, my mom wanted to move back to our small town. Being a hormonal 13-year-old, I felt like my world was ending. And unfortunately, Donnie and I both agreed that we could not go long distance, but would keep in touch as friends to check in every once in a while. He ended up moving to Australia after high school and had a girlfriend and a baby as well. Okay, that's not nothing. Now that history view is done, here it goes. 3 weeks ago, I got a text from a random number. Nobi, I'm back home and would love to catch up for dinner this weekend. Straight away, I knew who it was, as that was a nickname for me. I was so excited, and I showed my fiance. He was at first suspicious, but trusted me, so all he said was have fun, but not too much fun. That weekend, my kids were going up to their nans, and Nick had a fishing trip in the same city that Don moved to. I told Nick, and he said it was perfect. We can save on gas and just take one car, and I would pick him up afterwards. Well, the next day, I texted Donnie saying I'd meet for an early dinner as I have to pick up Nick from the harbor at 6 p.m. before having to go back to our small town, and Donnie replied saying it was all good and told me where to meet. I dropped Nick off with his packed dinner and a few beers and met Donnie at the restaurant. When I got there, he was waiting dressed close to in a tux, but with a muscle shirt and a suite with flowers. This was the first red flag, and to be honest, I cringed because he did that when we were dating, and you really shouldn't be doing that now. I looked like I had been cleaning up my house, no makeup or hair, in a messy bun with leggings and a baggy tee. He hugged me and he gave me the bouquet to where I said, "What are those for?" He said he missed me and thought a gift would be inappropriate, but flowers aren't. I said he didn't need to because I didn't get him anything. He shrugged and led me into the restaurant, which was a major bougie. It was bad and bougie, guys. Once seated, the waitress came over and immediately started to flirt with him, but he ignored her and kept his eyes on me. I felt uncomfortable and told him to talk to her because he was being rude. He laughed it off and began to order. During dinner, we did a huge debrief on our lives. I told him about the wedding planning and my kids, and he told me that his relationship ended and it was complicated, but he was glad he was home. Then the waitress brought the bill, and I went to pull out my card when he said, no, my shout, put that away. I never say no to free food. After paying, we were able to leave when he grabbed my hand and asked me to follow him outside to the patio of the restaurant. When we got outside, he broke down and told me he has never stopped having feelings for me, and if I didn't move, that we would have stayed together and wanted to get back together. He also told me that his girlfriend broke up with him because he accidentally says my name when they have spicy sleep.
What? Yo!
That's not an accident.
I'll have what she's having.
That's an accident once. That's not an accident more than once.
Me and him never did the deed together. And that he would follow my socials, and she was absolutely sick of it. Not only this, but he told me he named his son's middle name after my late father. I was mixed in emotions of anger, sympathy, pity, and disappointment. I didn't say a word. I just stared at him. After what seemed like hours, I had told him that I had to go, and I just left. He chased, but I got in my car and drove away in tears. When I got to the harbor, I picked up my fiance, who could tell I was upset, and I had told him what happened. He was furious and wanted to sort him out. I told him that I just wanted to go home, and he completely understood and took me home. 20 texts and 12 missed calls later.
My God.
I pick up the call from Donnie, and we start talking.
Ugh.
I told him how inappropriate and weird he was, and that after hearing how happy I was during our catch-up dinner, he still tried to get me to be with him. I told him I agreed to the dinner as a friend and that what he did has made me want to go no contact. He first started to apologize and then went to trying to guilt trip me, first about being there for me when my dad passed away and Nick was nowhere to be found. I met Nick 2 years afterwards, so that didn't make any sense. Then went on to say that I ruined his relationship? Like how? And lastly, that I made a fool out of him. I apologized that he was too delulu to realize that it was all him and that my reaction was valid because what he did came out of nowhere.
I don't know, girl. Sounds like you just missed out on a prime candidate for Man of the Year here.
Dude, right? He told his family and they are split. His mom and sister are telling me I'm a complete a-hole for leading him on, quote unquote. And if I didn't want a relationship with him, I shouldn't have went to dinner. But his brothers think he's deranged and told him not to go through with it when he told him what they planned.
What is wrong with the mom and sister? You shouldn't have let him on. I didn't.
Dude.
We were 13.
Like, calm down, people. Nick thinks Donnie needs a hiding or maybe is hiding something or maybe needs therapy, but mainly wanted to punch him multiple times. Half my friends agree with his mom and sister and think that I was leading him on by going, stop it.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean?
What do you mean by that? That it was an a-hole move, and the other half told me not to listen to the first half and ask Reddit. Okay, so am I the a-hole? Edit, because there's a lot of confusion around the ages. Let me just sprinkle a little bit of context. One, my dad and Donnie's aunt used to date, so when Donnie would stay at my aunt's house, I would sometimes be there. He was 8 and I was 6 years old. Him and my dad used to be real close. My dad would always involve Donnie and everything, and we did like a play when we would like play at the park or go swimming. Number 2, where I'm from, you can start high school earlier depending on the month you were born. If your birthday lands before June, I think. Anyways, you get put in with the big kids. My dad passed a couple of months before my 14th birthday, so he had been dating for about a year and a few months. By the way, you can date us, everyone except for me, for the rest of your life by just tapping our profile, guys, on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and joining us on our lives like we are right here. Get in here. Just come in here right now. Because I have to talk with Dakota, okay? You could be here right now for this, so it's up to you. No contact.
Of course, no contact.
No contact.
And also, like, probably low contact with the sister and the mom, because it's like, why are they saying this was your You are literally reconnecting with somebody you have not seen for more than a decade, right? How old are they?
13.
Well, how old are they? They're like they've got to be in their 20s now, right? At least. It's been at least 10 years since you've seen this guy.
30.
Yeah, so it's been almost 2 decades since you've seen this guy. In what universe is going to dinner with this dude, leading him on after almost 20 years? What is that? That is not leading anybody on. You have a husband.
Hey, Dakota.
He has a wife.
You remember when you came over to my house recently and we had like watched a movie? Why are you trying to sleep with me and marry me?
Oh, because I was literally I'm sorry. I was within your proximity, which means that the only thing I want to do is marry you and steal you from whoever you're with. Yeah.
Why did you walk within 6 feet of me? Because that obviously means that you want to marry me and steal me away, right? I am
head over heels in love with you, and I will do anything it takes.
I did love him at one point in my life, but when I met the soon-to-be hubby, the love reverted to friendly love instead, and now is just destroyed. I will never look at him the same. I have blocked him and his family on everything, and I am so glad I didn't want to show off my cooking skills or introduce him to my kids. Mama's intuition, I guess. That's one thing me and Nick did the phew look after all this went down.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
My dad wants to split my college fund with his affair child. Should I do
Ooh,
it
second family.
Second family. What the?
You get a
Awkward.
Sam's golden rule. You get one practice family.
Really?
Yeah.
That's his rule? Oh my goodness. My father dropped a big bomb on our family last year when he revealed he has a secret son from his affair years ago. Oh my goodness. Starting out strong on this story. Whew. After my mom found out and he gave him the ultimatum, he cut things off with the mistress and she moved away until last year when she introduced him to their son, Hank.
What's up, Hank?
Hey, Hank. How's it going? I really don't give a dang about his Latin affair instinct since he didn't give his other family any consideration when he broke the news.
Okay, cool. So he stayed with you as a real family.
I guess. Yeah. Still, I don't know. He seems like he's not making good decisions either way. Thank God my mom divorced him, and now neither my brother, Connor, male 18, or my sister, Sophia, female 15, neither of them or I want anything to do with him anymore. By the way, this comes from Disband Depressed on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So here's the thing, though. We have a shared college fund that my mom's parents set up for us when we were little. My parents contribute almost half of the money, and my maternal grandparents contribute the other half.
See how it said mom, keyword mom set up?
Mom set this up, not the dad. The account remains under my mom after the divorce. As far as I know, he stopped contributing to the account after the divorce. Last month, I found out that my dad's been harassing my mom because he wanted to add Hank as a beneficiary to the college fund for my siblings. What? No. Not when the maternal grandparents are also paying
Heck
for it,
no.
and you're not even paying for it anymore.
How old's Hank? 18?
We don't know yet,
Okay,
but
okay,
I'm
okay.
guessing only like a couple years old. Because it just said Hank is the son from an affair a few years ago.
Oh, well,
So he's
Dad,
probably
you
like
got,
2
you
at
got
least.
plenty of time to get his college fund in order.
Yeah, he's saying that Hank is his son and therefore entitled to the college fund that he set up for me, Connor, and Sophia. My mom told him off, and now he has been going around harassing her online and to their mutual acquaintances and friends, claiming that she is heartless and cruel for taking her anger out on an innocent child. Oh my goodness.
Boo-hoo.
And then he also had the genius idea to reach out to me and put pressure on my mom. He said I should consider opening up my heart to Hank, who grew up without a father and wasn't set up in life like my siblings and me.
Why are you
Aw.
making this OP's problem
my
that he didn't have a father?
Yeah, what? Like, that's on you, dude. That's all on you. I left him on red since honestly, the things I wanted to say to that callous, evil monster may be too much.
Oof.
Yesterday, he changed tactics and now said he wanted to withdraw all his part of the money from the account, divided them to make sure Hank has his share, and deposited the rest back into the account.
Well, at least he loves Hank. I'm not buying this. I'm sorry.
Not buying what? Which part?
You weren't there for Hank his whole year, and now you want money for Hank? Hank didn't grow up with the father. Hank didn't have a great family growing up. And now all of a sudden you want to give him money?
Wait, that's a good...
That's sus, dude.
That's a good point. That's a good point. With the caveat that since Connor and I didn't need to use the college fund for tuition, since we both had full ride scholarships, the money would be divided into 2 parts for Hank and Sophia,
Well, then,
instead of 4 parts for his 4 children.
well, then they should be compensated and use that as a down payment for their house.
Yeah.
'Cause they
Oh my
worked really
gosh,
hard.
that's a great idea. Yeah, if Sophia doesn't need like all that money for her college thing, then like, yeah, they should get some of that money too.
Yeah.
Or they just all go on a big family vacation without the dad, maybe. Hank and the dad can do something else. And now him, some of my dad's side of the family, and even the mistress are pressuring my mom to agree to that. And I'm praying that she won't.
Yep.
It makes me physically angry that we're being asked to split our money with my dad's affair child. Even if, yes, I don't need to use the money to pay for school, I will need it in the future. Same with Connor. And I know for a fact he would never use the same reasoning to exclude Connor and I from the fund just to have the money solely for Sophia in the same situation. It's all for Hank. I understand that Hank is innocent and not responsible for his parents' actions, but I don't think of him as my brother. Heck, I don't even think of my father as my father anymore, to be honest. honest. As far as I'm concerned, my family consists of me, my siblings, and my mom. That's it. So, am I the a-hole? Edit, I'm 23, Hank is 14. So not a few years ago.
Oh, wow.
Hank is 14.
So we found out about it a few years ago. But
I
Hank's
guess
been
so.
around.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
and then it goes
And
more
there's still
into it.
more edits, but yeah, what do we think? What are we thinking?
Ooh. Yeah, I'm not buying that the dad is going to be doing the bestest things with this money.
Yeah.
Because the
that's
mom
interesting.
said cut off the mistress and we could still be together earlier.
Yeah.
You think he was still doing that? I think he's gotten into some money trouble and he's trying to use his college fund to get out
That's
of it.
interesting. Yeah, I have conflicting thoughts.
Okay.
I'm going to be so honest. I'm going to play devil's advocate for just a second. So hear me out. Hear me
Oh,
out. Okay.
boy.
So OP was saying that what the dad wants to do, the dad has contributed money, stopped contributing after the divorce. Okay. What the dad wants to do is go in, see what he contributed, split that into 4, and take a quarter out for Hank.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, doesn't seem that bad. But I have another thought to contradict that, because here's my thoughts. Here's my thoughts. It is the money that he contributed. What I like about it is that he's not taking out the money that the mom or the grandparents contributed, because that's what I was afraid of. Like you can't have an affair.
He's just
partner.
taking his portion out.
Yeah, he's just taking like part of his portion out. He's not even taking like half of it, I'm pretty sure. Because like, if Sophia and Hank are the only ones that would need it possibly for college, then like he would split it into half. But I think he said split it into 4 and take a quarter of it out of just what he contributed.
Got it.
Which I like a lot better than the idea of taking out like part of what the mom and the grandparents contributed. That would make me mad.
Well, he could have done that maybe 14 years ago.
True. What I'm also thinking though too,
Oh boy.
is to just go against that, is that if he stopped contributing after the divorce, then he could take all the money that he would have been contributing and use that for Hank. You know what I mean? Because the child is 14 years old. The divorce was probably like a long time ago, not just a few years,
I think it was a few years ago they got divorced. They found out a few years ago about him, and then like a year later they got divorced.
Okay, gotcha.
Something like that.
If he just like stopped contributing to the other 3 kids that he already had, then like that's pretty stupid. And then all of a sudden you want to be a good parent for Hank and do the same for him. I say, I did listen to devil's advocate for a second, but I don't really agree with it. I don't think he should do that. I do think that he could just, whatever you were supposed to contribute that whole time after the divorce, then just use that for Hank.
Yeah, agreed.
Come on, man. So we've got some comments. So for what type of fund this is, we're answering that. Where I live, if the funds are unused due to scholarship, we can withdraw it and won't be penalized.
Nice.
And I am considering getting a master's, so even if I didn't have to pay for the undergraduate, I probably will need it for grad school. The fund is a state-sponsored savings plan. Sorry I can't give the actual name since it's very specific to where we live. But that's interesting, though. I didn't realize that the state could be involved in that.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is from a commenter. Not the a-hole at all. Where does your father get the idea that he set up this fund when it was your grandparents on your mom's side?
Yep.
Do his family members know the whole story?
Ooh.
OP responds, yeah, the man's delusion is out of this world. His audacity is truly unmatched. My paternal grandparents know and support us. Oh, okay. So father's
So
parents.
it's like his mom and the paternal grandparents.
Yes. I know my grandma has been trying to get him to back off, but he unfortunately doesn't listen to her. It's mainly my dad's brothers who are joining him to harass my mom. I don't know if they know the full story or not. Since grandma and grandpa know, I feel like they do too. And now we have an update. But before we do you have any thoughts?
This man is delusional, and I am totally against him getting any money.
Yep. I'm glad that he's the only one on his side.
Yep.
Let's see the update though. Thank you so much for everyone for the support and advices. I really appreciate it. I talked to my mom this morning about getting the lawyer involved and also about potential restraining order. Whoa. Big step. Whoa. She has been talking to the lawyer about dad's demands, and it looks like he really doesn't have any rights to it. Boom.
There we go.
I think some of you are correct that he is doing all of this because he knows he won't win in court.
There we go.
As for a restraining order, my mom is hesitant to do it right now since the dad has visitation rights with Sophia and she doesn't want to make it too complicated for my sister. But she promised me that if things get worse, she will get one. My brother Connor and I also talked, and we will be making turns coming home for the weekend, so mom and Sophia won't be alone just in case anything happens. And now some clarifications.
Okay.
We haven't involved mom's parents since their healths aren't the best right now. Grandpa was really shocked when he heard about the cheating and secret son of the dad that he had a heart attack. But thank God he is mostly recovered now. Hopefully however, none of us want to put any more stress on him. Oh my gosh.
That is insane.
Oh my gosh. But you know what can take the stress off of you is by joining us live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile.
That's my girl.
Tap our profile.
Did you see that segue? Dude, he got a heart attack.
Yeah, he had a heart attack. There's still more to the story, but
In this case, I'd probably like anything the mom says goes with their decisions on the grandparents. Like if you involve the grandparents anymore,
right,
they're gonna get stressed out.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I would say the worst is gone, but it's not because they're getting a restraining order on the dad now.
Yeah, so it's probably like
it's
probably pretty crazy. I think especially too since the maternal grandparents are paying for it, so they have a little more say in this whole situation. Luckily though, we still have the paternal grandparents that they could talk to too. According to Dad, he never knew about Hank's existence until last year when his mistress came back. Wow, so they've really only known about it for a year.
Holy cow.
Nobody in our family knew really until Dad brought Hank to a family event to break the news to us.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, I guess. He blindsided and humiliated my mom, and it was the final straw for her. They divorced after that. Oh, okay, so it's only been a year that they've divorced.
Got it.
Okay, gotcha. I honestly don't hate Hank. It's just that right now I can't imagine spending time with him.
Aww.
He's a minor still, so everything will have to involve either the father or his mother. And that is a no for me right now. Perhaps in the future, things will be different. Who knows? Hopefully things get resolved soon. Thank you again for the amazing advice and words of support. But that is the end of our story.
Dude, poor Hank.
Poor Hank, dude.
Hank didn't ask for any of this.
He really didn't. He's in such a mess right now.
He really is. Oh.
And the fact that like, at least OP has like a good mom and like good people on that side. But Hank, I think it's really just like his grandparents that have a regular stable mind.
Yeah.
Seems.
Gosh.
Wow.
Classic okay story time story right there.
Classic one. Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
I mean, not sweet, but you know.
Hopefully get that restraining order going on, and in 4 years, hopefully you can hang out with Hank.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's so fair that it's like too weird to hang out with Hank right now.
Yeah.
So fair. So give it time.
Yeah.
You're good. Not your fault. Not Hank's fault.
If I had a secret brother, I probably would, because they're 23, I'm 24 now.
Yeah.
I'd probably if I had a 14-year-old secret brother, I'd probably send him a letter, be like, hey man, thinking about you.
Right.
If you need anything non-monetarily, let me know.
Yeah, I get you. I think I would probably do something like that too. I would totally reach out and
be
totally
excited.
Be cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm the youngest of my siblings, so I've never had a younger sibling.
Oh wow.
That'd be pretty cool. But I think the main thing is the relationship with the parents and how that surrounds it. If my relationship with my parents was like not like that and it's not good how it is, love you, Dad.
Shut up, Dad.
Like I think I might feel differently if I was in OP's specific situation.
Yeah,
true. But that's so
let's
sorry.
hear that story.
Yeah. So let's get into this next one.
The teacher's aide overstepped her boundaries regarding my parenting, so I reported her. Get her fired.
Yes, Karen.
So this just happened about 3 hours ago, and I'm still flummoxed about it. Today being Halloween, my kids' school sent out a notice that kids can wear their Halloween costumes to school. I have 2 children, my son 8 and my daughter 6. By the way, this comes from violinist number 2961 and on the OK Storytime subreddit. So my son is the type to get involved with the school activities, i.e. dress up days, etc. My daughter is more reserved and will sometimes participate if she feels inclined. I don't force them to do the activities. I'll ask if they want to and take it from there. Today was no different. My son wanted to wear his costume, no problem. My daughter wanted to initially, but decided not to this morning. I only asked her why, and she said, just want to be me today.
That's sweet.
Again, no problem. I applaud her self-awareness. My girl knows what she likes and doesn't like. While I don't let them have free reign on important decisions, I do let them speak for themselves on things like this. My husband dropped them off at school before heading to work, and I picked them up. As I get to the gate, the teacher's aide, who is someone I know personally, daughter of a friend of my mom, came up to me and started questioning why I didn't let my daughter participate in dressing up. I told her that it was my daughter's decision. She then gave me this skeptical look and said, well, it's clear that you don't know what your daughter wants and the favoritism shows.
Whoa.
Implying I favor my oldest. Now, I'm not one to take a calm approach when it comes to even the slightest attack to my kids, but I tried for a calm tone when I responded. Excuse you?
That's what
Sorry,
she
Scott.
sounded like. That was the kind tone.
What makes you think that I favor one kid over the other and makes you an expert on what my daughter wants? She responded by saying, well, it's obvious you allow your son to participate, but not her. You singled her out by not letting her dress up. She was sad seeing the other kids in costume. By this time, I was fuming. My kids were playing with friends while we were talking. I called my daughter over and asked her why didn't she wear a costume today? And she said the same thing she told me this morning, then skipped away to go play. I looked back at the aide and said, seems your misguided assumptions on me and my kids are wrong.
Oh.
Stop thinking you know my daughter better than I do and mind your business. Mind your dang business. I initially wanted to just let it go, but I was still upset that I called the school to speak to my daughter's actual teacher to ask how my daughter was throughout the day. She told me that nothing was amiss and my daughter had an awesome day. I then explained about the interaction with the aide and my displeasure about it. My daughter's teacher is a gem. She's exactly what any parent wants in a teacher for their kids, and she was mortified. She told me she would handle it and we'd go from there. My mom called and asked what happened because the aide went crying to her mom about it. I told my mom the story and she was pissed. While her friend is a sweet lady, her daughter is not. She likes to create issues and twist tales to fit her narrative. Mom's friend was apologetic, but feels like I should apologize for saying what I said because now her daughter is upset because the school put her on probation for her actions. Whoa. I told her no. She shouldn't have crossed a line and overstepped her boundaries as an aide. Don't get me wrong, I do feel that teachers/aides need to speak up if there are clear signs of abuse on a child, but to insinuate something like this is not cool. My mom backed me up and told her friend that she knows her daughter butts into people's lives and creates issues. Dang.
So it's a pattern.
Yeah, she's like, oh, that's my daughter. Now, I don't regret my words, but I'm starting to feel a bit guilty about calling the teacher and basically blabbing to her about the aide. Am I the a-hole? And quick update. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for the responses. I wanted to just drop in real quick and provide a mini update. The teacher called me and wanted to say thank you for informing her about what happened. As someone stated, it wasn't the first time someone spoke up about her overstepping.
So not only is it a pattern in her life, it's a pattern in her profession.
Teaching, yeah. Apparently she was warned before and this was addressed immediately, which makes sense because, I mean, normally this wouldn't be a probation if it was like, you know, the first time.
Yeah.
But that clearly this has happened with other people.
This woman is shoving herself into other people's lives and business.
Yeah. She's been moved to a different location, not within a classroom, but an office type deal. Now I gotta get back to trick-or-treating. And there is an update. Hi, everybody. First, I want to say thank you to everyone who commented or reached out. I appreciate all the replies. A lot of you gave me some things to think about this after this happened, and I'm very grateful. I wasn't sure I was going to update on this, but this past weekend leading up to yesterday has been a bit of a whirlwind, so I apologize for the length. To start, how my mom found out. Her friend was actually at her house when the aide called her, crying in hysterics that she'd been put on probation. The aide didn't know her mom was with mine at the time. When her mom told her she would be over at her house in a little while because she was at my mom's, the aide said something along the lines of, "It's our daughter's fault," and hung up.
What?
My mom and her friend were undoubtedly confused, which is when the conversation happened. The update. My mom's friend, Abby, has a sister, Beth, that's quite honestly a hoot. She's a bit eccentric in some ways, but is a firecracker when wronged. This woman loves my family, especially my kids. She is the bonus aunt they never had. My husband and I only have brothers, and they live long distance from us with their partners. Beth was livid after hearing what happened and went into full PI mode. Okay, what is she trying to find?
I like this update.
Beth and the aide, Kathy, never really got along. I'm not sure about the history there. I don't ask questions because it really isn't any of my business. I didn't know what Beth was up to until around Sunday afternoon when she called me. Giving no names, she was able to find out that the other times Kathy crossed personal boundaries with the parent was with people she knew personally. Oh. So her MO is to do so with people she has a personal relationship with. So because OP's mom is friends with her mom, she thought maybe she could get away with it. In Beth's words, she thinks because she knows you, she can say whatever she wants. You guys were right on that one. Well, one parent wasn't having it and reported it to the school, which is when Kathy was first warned. My report was the last straw. On Monday, my daughter's teacher called and asked if we could meet after school. I said yes, and thankfully my husband had the day off so he could go with me. The teacher and vice principal wanted me to recount what happened. After I gave my side, I was informed that Kathy has been placed on administrative leave pending investigation. Whoa.
Dang. Last straw, I guess.
Yeah. The reason, some other parents came forward about Kathy's behavior.
Oh.
I don't have details, but since she already had at least 2 complaints, they were forced into more action. My guess is the other parents found out about her being reported and came forward with their own. Of course, the VP and teacher couldn't give me details, so it's all up to speculation at this point. Yesterday, my mom called and told me Kathy resigned from her job. According to what Abby had said, Kathy told her that the whole town is against her and she can't take it anymore. Maybe do your job better. Did we think about that? You know what I think about?
Yes.
How you guys can listen to full episodes with stories like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. The school administration apologized to me and my husband for what happened and thanked us for being cooperative with everything. Abby even apologized because after finding out more details from Detective Beth, she was horrified about Kathy's behavior and entitlement. Kathy felt she had rights to speak up because she knows everyone personally and it was her duty to say something. So there you have it. Again, thank you all for commenting and easing my mind on it all. I doubt I'll update again on this, but we'll see. And there is one comment. I used to work in the public school system as a teacher and then as a crisis counselor. I worked with some excellent aides, but I've also seen a couple of pretty bad ones. I've definitely seen the problem when an aide tries to reach beyond the scope of what they're supposed to be doing. I've even had an aide get inappropriately involved with talk about a child's mental health issues with family members of the child that they should not be discussing those things with. This aide took her uninformed opinion about your daughter and her experience and took it in an inappropriate direction. She took it so far that you have preference of one over the other based on something small. I'm not saying I've never seen preference among kids. I'm saying this was a big leap and was an inappropriate one at that.
Preach it.
She messed up, not you. It sounds like you handled it well and went to the correct person to report it. I'm glad your daughter has such a good teacher and that the teacher is willing to do things that might make her uncomfortable, but that are to benefit the children in her care. Good job, Mom. Good job, teacher. I'm glad that action was taken.
Okay.
And that's the end of that story.
I think my husband's cheating on me with his student.
Give him an F.
She'll do anything for the grade, I guess. So I am freaking out right now. My partner is a high school.
Oh, no!
Oh, God. So much worse.
No!
I was thinking college. And I'm like,
immediately awful.
Oh. My partner is a high school math teacher. Let's hope she's at least a very old high schooler.
I'm hoping she's at least 18. It's still
I'm
awful.
hoping she was held back for like 4 or 5 years.
She's like a 26-year-old high school senior.
Or maybe she's just been, maybe she's just she's been held back like 30 years, Let's fingers crossed.
Maybe she's doing like an online GED.
Yeah, exactly. He has been teaching now for a decade and generally has been praised by students, parents, other teachers, and admin for how he does his job. He's just really involved with the students,
He's just too involved.
It's too involved. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Teacher Cheat on the Best Redder Updates subreddit. So we have been together for 7 years. We got married in 2023.
Well,
I have never been worried about him being interested in his students. First mistake.
Yeah, you would hope not.
We have even talked about teacher-student relationships, and he has never expressed anything other than disgust and how it's an abuse of power, even if the student isn't adults, not to specific instances in real life, just movie instances and general topics discussion. So
Like
they're talking about it like,
Pretty Little Liars.
It's pretty. That
I've never
happens
seen
in Pretty Little Liars,
but I know that there's a student-teacher relationship in it.
He has never been called out for being inappropriate. That I know. Maybe you'll be the first one. Never engage with students over the weekend/summer unless it's school related. But even then, all contact is through school email or with parents. Ezekiel says, I'm sure she's very mature for her age.
Yeah, he's definitely telling her that.
Icky, icky, icky. So he generally refers to his students as his kids.
Ew.
Stepkids. And actively keeps a distance from developing too close of a relationship because he is young, attractive, and other male teachers recommended he do so.
Ugh.
So here's what happened. We're going to get the juicy details. Around March, we were at a movie theater one evening, and I noticed a gaggle of girls staring and pointing. I notified my partner, assuming they were his students, and he told me I was right. I wonder if he's sweating at this point.
He's like, yes, those are my students.
Yeah, I swear, just my students, not
my math students.
Yeah, no, we're not doing anything other than math. Just long division.
Just fractions.
Just fractions.
Sometimes calculus. No geometry.
I swear. No physical education. I swear. It's
I
all
don't teach
math.
PE.
I do not teach PE. I would never, and especially not sex education.
No.
I would never. And if I did, I would make sure I was hands-on. I don't want these children not knowing how to navigate through the world.
Send them in the world like that.
No, you can't. You can't. You know, he bowls them into the world.
I'm scared.
Very hands-on. So we did not go over and say hi. We have seen his students before out and about, and he says hi on a case-by-case basis, but typically doesn't initiate. And they did not come to us. But I noticed the rest of the girls playfully shoving one girl with lots of whispers. And the girl was staring at my husband sheepishly, like this, sheepishly. I immediately thought she probably had a crush.
Mm-hmm.
Thought nothing of it after until last weekend. Ezekiel says, Ezekiel with the banger comments right now. Teacher, can I get some extra credit? Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
Yeah.
We were celebrating Canada Day. Oh.
Classic
Canadians being too nice to their students.
Whoa, oh.
We were celebrating Canada Day at a barbecue with family, and my husband was pretty wasted. At one point, he went to the bathroom and didn't come back for so long, I was worried he was getting sick, so I checked on him, like a good wife.
Yes.
When I knocked and said it was me, he said he was okay and would be right out, but didn't unlock the door. He stayed in the bathroom for another 10 minutes.
What's he doing in there?
What's he doing? Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes it takes a while.
That's just because you go to the bathroom for like 30 minutes.
I do. Yeah. But I swear, I'm not talking to high schoolers.
No.
I'm just being.
Okay.
Don't
need to tell the whole world.
What? That I'm not being, I feel like they need to know.
No.
He stayed in the bathroom for another 10 minutes. Super unusual for him, but it could have been anything. All right. Later that night, I woke up around 3 and he wasn't in bed.
Is he still in the bathroom? Did he ever leave the bathroom?
I don't know. He might have fallen in. Worried again, I got up and found him on his phone in the living room. This is also unusual. Wait. I see you.
I see you.
Is the high schooler with child.
Why would he be on his phone then? Or is this just a conspiracy theory?
My conspiracy theory is like it was just a casual thing, and now she's pregnant, and so now he's going into like overdrive.
I hope not.
I
thought it was like unrelated, and he was just watching like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just his midnight corn.
I thought that he was just like really getting into that in the bathroom.
It's a safe space. This is also unusual. So when I asked him what he was doing, he was definitely surprised when he hit his phone screen.
What's he got on that phone screen?
He said he couldn't sleep and didn't want to wake me up by watching videos next to me in bed. We both went back to sleep together. Okay, it's fine.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
Totally
Maybe it was a like red flags were raised and no one's doing anything bad.
Yeah. I mean, OP says I think my husband's cheating. We don't know for sure.
We don't know.
Could be totally fine.
Yeah. We both went back to sleep together. The next morning, he was hungover and slept in. I went through his phone.
Ooh, that's not great. Great move.
I've never not had a reason to trust him, which is a double negative. So she's always trusted him.
Had a reason to trust him.
So I've never gone through his phone. Found nothing of interest except for the Snapchat app.
Not the Snapchat app.
which was not logged into. Also, I know girls that will not date guys with Snapchats.
I don't honestly. I kind of get that.
Yeah, I mean,
I kind of get that. I like truly no hate to anyone in the chat who uses Snapchat, but I feel like for like a lot of men, there's just only one reason to have Snapchat.
if you're over 18 and have a
Yeah.
Snapchat, like you're up to no good.
No hate.
No
to
hate,
anyone.
no hate.
No
If you-
hate.
If you're
But
not,
are you up to no good?
but are you? Yeah, come
Well,
on,
what
like
are
be
you up
real.
to on
Why do
Snapchat?
you have Snapchat?
I do have like 2
Do you have
friends.
Snapchat?
No.
Uh-huh.
I haven't had Snapchat since like freshman year of high school.
Yeah, I haven't had Snapchat
Yeah.
since my freshman. No, I used it at the beginning of college.
Or
So I
maybe-
guess
no,
we
might
were
have
probably
been-
using it
might
around
have
the
been,
same
like,
time.
throughout high school, and then I got rid of it somewhere in between high
I
school.
had it like first year of college.
Yeah.
I was really into Snapchat stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was dedicated. I was doing all kinds of jokes and puns on there. It was great.
I was just using. I was using it to send streaks, and then at a certain point, I realized I was just sending black screens
just to
get the streak, and I was like, "This is pointless."
Also, poll for everyone: is Snapchat like a scrupulous app, or does it have no scruples? Does Snapchat have no scruples? Scruples. That's a word. Scruples.
No, I know.
Yeah, scruples. See, I didn't know scruples. Scruples.
No, I think people can use it for just like for fun and goofs.
For goofs.
But I think a lot of guys do use it
Yeah.
to snap a bunch of people.
I mean, I think probably guys and girls. Like, there's
That's true.
There's girls on the other end. Sending snaps
Scruples are
too.
without gender.
Scruples are without anyone on Snapchat, man or woman, needs to repent now.
Yeah.
Cat M Kingstraw says the only reason I keep Snap is because my cousin and I have a streak of over 4,000.
That's crazy. Okay, Cat M King Strauss. How much of those are black screens? Are they all like photos? Like, is it just I want to know, is every photo
a real photo?
A real photo.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
4,000
that's
is
impressive.
nuts.
That's
Nine
impressive.
Tails Girl says I say Snap the cheater app. That sounds legit. So he used to use Snapchat, but from what I knew, hadn't in years. I honestly assumed nothing finding the app, and I figured I was reading too much into things. Well, last night I saw a Snapchat notification pop up on his phone while we were watching TV. It was out of the corner of my eye, but the logo is too recognizable to mistake. My heart effing dropped because knowing he was logged out last week means he is definitely using it secretly.
Wait, the logo of what?
Snapchat logo on his phone. Notification. The notification popped up, and what was
I
right
thought
there?
they were saying there was a picture of a logo on the Snapchat.
No. The Snapchat logo appeared on the phone, and she's like,
but
wait, I
he was
thought
logged
he
out.
wasn't. I thought he wasn't using Snapchat.
You know what? Even more suspicious because a lot of younger people use Snapchat. So
I know he's communicating with the youth. DRed04 says, I only have Facebook and Instagram. IG is only real shares.
I don't use I do have Facebook because you guys make me have Facebook. But I only use Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah, I've stopped using any social media.
Whoa. Look at Mr. I don't have any social
that's
media.
a lie.
I'm
I
better.
watch so much YouTube.
Yeah, I get it.
I watch so much YouTube, but on my computer. I watch a ridiculous amount of YouTube.
Gentleman.
Yeah, exactly. I have class. So knowing he was logged out last week means he is definitely using it secretly. I pretended like I didn't notice, and a couple minutes later, he got up to take a long poop. I cried while he was in the bathroom. And shortly after, I said I was going to bed early, and he stayed up without me. He's on summer break. When I got home from work, he was still passed out. I went on his phone and found no Snapchat.
Now he's deleted it.
Suspicious.
Is he just re-downloading and deleting every time?
I think so. Man is suspicious as heck. I knew something was shady for sure. And when I looked up Snapchat on the home screen, it was there, just hidden in a folder of apps.
He pulled the classic move that I pulled in 5th grade to hide my Minecraft.
Mm-hmm. Like, oh, these are just math apps.
They're just math apps. Yeah. And then you went to, if you go
two screens
over in the folder.
Minecraft.
Or it was just like you did it like a bunch of literally like on the homepage. You just did a bunch and then had it all the way over there.
And they
never figured it out because no one really understood technology back in 5th grade.
Mm-hmm. So he had not logged out of Snapchat, and when I opened it, there was only one conversation with a real human. And also, the Snapchat app was disguised as cooking and workout apps. And the one real human on his Snapchat app, it was a girl. There was no evidence of conversation between them because, for those who don't know, Snapchat deletes previous messages for good. I was ready to confront him for cheating with basically zero evidence, but decided to keep snooping for something concrete. In that same disguised folder, I found out that he had only downloaded.
Well, I was kind of right earlier that he was on corn
Yeah.
in the bathroom.
Yeah. The only content creator he was subscribed to had the same username as the woman on Snapchat. This is terrible, but at least she's of age.
She has to be at least 18.
Yeah, she has to be at least 18.
Be on AOF.
Yeah, but it's his effing student.
That's so icky. So disgusting. Like, what are you doing?
Trying to help her pay for college. Think of it as a scholarship, babe.
It's terrible.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Oh my God.
Ay.
So bad. The one from the theater who was blushing. I've never clocked a face so fast. I am 100% certain. Jellyba says full ride scholarship.
That was a good one.
We make fun of OnlyFans simps all the time, so I was already disgusted, but I actually threw up when I found this. I was scared I was going to wake him up and genuinely didn't know what to do, so I put his phone back and left for work.
That's horrendous.
At work, I did some sleuthing and was able to find the girl's Instagram/Twitter accounts. She's 18, and from grad photos, I can tell with certainty that she attended my husband's school. The same OnlyFans link was in her Twitter bio.
Oh, so she is since graduated.
But
just graduated.
Yeah. He has texted me normally throughout the day, and I have not responded to any, but to tell him I have to go to my parents tonight. But in reality, I am still at work because I don't know what to do. The reality is that this is effed up, but she has graduated. Is this now just the same as any old affair? I don't even know if she was in any of his classes. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do next. Lawyer, should I ask my husband and see what he says? Should I ask her? Edit to add, does anybody know how to / if you can tell when an app was first downloaded to kind of see maybe when this was starting? TLDR, my husband was Snapchatting / subscribed to an OnlyFans of a student of his school who is 18. Help. We got some comments. We got some updates. It seems like everyone who voted in chat thinks Snapchat is a poopy app. So, Addie, thank you. Is an unscrupulous, the scruples are non-existent on an app like Snapchat.
Yeah.
So appreciate your unanimous decision. Yeah, I guess there's a couple questions there, and Addie, we can finish up the poll.
I think you have to find out when this started, because either it started after she graduated, which someone said in the chat that he said it was summer break, which implies that she just graduated. So either it started like super recently, or this happened while he was still he was teaching her, which in that case he could definitely get fired for that, and should be.
Yeah, I mean, I think if she's graduated, it's still bad because
it would still get him fired if there was proof that he had been engaging in anything during.
But if she's graduated,
no, that's my point. You have to find out.
Yeah, I think that. Well, yeah, I think also you should think about this in terms of like the safety of other students there.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
If this was happening while he was there, like think of all the students that are at risk,
in danger. Yes.
In terms of this student, I think if she graduated, it's like it's still weird. It's still weirder than a regular affair, but it goes more towards the regular affair route where there's not much that you can do.
Yes, in terms of
But if you know about the school, then I think you can definitely do something.
I mean, you could probably, I don't know, maybe reach out to the school or get a lawyer first and then reach out to the school.
I would get a lawyer first just to make sure, nothing bad is happening.
Yeah.
To you, if you bring this forward.
I mean, obviously, either way, divorce this man. He's cheating on you. But it's just a matter of how we go about this investigation.
Yeah. But we got some comments. We got an update
So many updates.
So many updates. This is a
long one.
A thickie. And Harry Spaghetti says, how would he even find out about her OnlyFans if he wasn't grooming her? I mean, I think there's like a bunch of ways that you could find, like you could, I don't know, you could follow her on Instagram, find her OnlyFans, and then reach out. Like,
yeah, it could have been. Yeah,
it could be a bunch of ways.
Name.
Regardless, extremely icky.
Yeah, I mean,
extremely icky.
Either way, it implies that he was attracted to her while she was at school, and then he went the extra mile to go find stuff about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is disgusting.
Vix Mix, thanks for the $5. I had a teacher at my school that was dating a student. She was 18, and her parents knew.
We actually know someone.
Yes, we do. We do.
I won't say anymore.
Yeah. It was a different time.
It was a different time.
We do know a situation similar. There was no OnlyFans involved.
Yeah.
It was a different time. Oh, God. All right, but we got some comments. So, dang it, I pressed the wrong button. No.
Lovely Font says maybe the student sought the husband out. That is a possibility, but
either way,
still very gross that he couldn't set that boundary.
Yeah, and it's bad one because he's married, like that's one, and also it's like age gap, and also as a student, it was like power dynamics.
No, I mean I went to an all girls school, and the girls were always flirting with male teachers, and the male teachers were like, because I am an adult and a male teacher.
Yeah.
It's like you just put up those are children.
I mean, and it's also like speed run to destroy your career as a teacher.
Yeah.
But we got some more comments. So Blue Cat 1011 says, this will not stay secret for long. If the other students know, this will come out sooner or later. Someone will post something, her parents will find out, but eventually it will come out. Best to protect yourself and get your own legal advice as well as counseling. Your husband is not who you thought he was, and that's a really hard thing to accept. So take the time you need to figure that out. However, you don't know if this was the first time he did it or the first time he got caught.
Very true.
Either way, he should not be working in a school ever again and should be reported. And AFAF responds, yeah, secrets like this don't stay hidden for very long in high school. The girl's friends know, so other people know, and the farther from the inner circle you get, the less people care about keeping anything hidden. His career is doomed. Mel221144 says, a teacher watching a student on OF is bad enough to leave. You don't need proof. Almost Teen says, honestly, I agree. Whether they have a physical relationship or not, he's viewing intimate material of students and obviously conducting some sort of relationship with her. That's horrific behavior. I would certainly consider it infidelity. And even if they weren't in active communication, his desire to view a student in a spicy context would be enough for me to be done with the relationship. And Even Budget 2078 says, okay, so you saw her at the movies in March and her friends were definitely acting like something was up with her specifically. When does the school year end in Canada? Meaning, did she just graduate in May or June? Or would that have been at high school in March? You need to see a lawyer. Do not talk about this with your husband for now. Do not talk to her. Please don't do that. That is not a good idea at all. Are you considering divorce, or are you mainly concerned about ramifications to his job? I think you should talk to a lawyer about divorce, but that's just me. For his job, OP, this is up to you, and I will not judge you if you don't, but please consider telling the school.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you know your husband is a risk to his female students. I'm not saying it's a sure thing that he'll prey on another one, but he is a risk, and I think you know this. So if you know this, what is your obligation to girls at his school? Maybe just to add that it is not okay for teachers to groom students, but not act on it until they leave. Like, that's also not an okay act, right? OP responds, school here finishes end of June, but high school students are done earlier to complete exams, so mid-June. They graduate in May, as in celebrate and walk the stage, but return to school for exams. Divorce for sure, unless I'm mistaken, but I am also praying, I am trying to find a way that this could be acceptable or ignored, because I am heartbroken. My heart is shattered. I know I have an obligation to protect his students, but I'm struggling that this is happening to the man I'm married. I can't even think straight. What kind of lawyer do I get? I've never had one before. Just a divorce lawyer. Will they tell this to the school if I confide in them before I know the truth? I think that would fall under like client attorney privilege kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Sail
think
Blue
so.
says, you have the girl's name? If so, I'd confront by asking about her. I'd ask, when did he first subscribe to her OF account, just casually? When he denies, I would ask if it was before or after they started snapping each other. Is it a paid subscription? Also, you can see when the app has been downloaded. If you go on your iPhone, in your apps to settings, it will tell you the date of when the app was downloaded, even if it's since been deleted. Your husband is gross, by the way. This is a reminder to all people that usually when someone is so against something, there's a reason. The reason is often because they are attempting to cover up what they really think, etc., or because they believe if they show they are vehemently against it, people will think that's true. Just like people who cheat often will be the first to discuss how horrible cheating is. OP says, yes, I know her name. Is there a chance that he is not engaging and just subscribed? There is a chance.
But I don't think it. I mean, we also know that he's been snapping her, so.
I mean, a lot of OnlyFans models have like Snapchat.
Yeah, but I think that's engaging.
As a like tier. So I know this because I have like not friends, but people that I went to middle and high school with in the Valley that are like OF managers, and what they do.
Managers?
Yeah, managers.
Oh.
And so and they're like they're kind of like the grodiest kinds of people, but what they do is their like OF models will send them images and they will text the guys on their behalf.
Whoa.
So like the Snapchat and stuff that they're getting are not from them, it's from these guys.
That's interesting.
So it's not necessary.
Well, I think it's still he's engaging either way.
Yeah.
He's Snapchat.
No,
It
so
doesn't necessarily mean he's engaging straight with her. But.
Yeah. But like, I guess that's all I'm saying. It's still like I think a divorce worthy thing. But in terms of like, there is a chance that he's not directly talking with her.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that.
But he doesn't know that. And the whole point is to deceive the end user from knowing that. Harriet Spaghetti says they are digital pimps. Melissa Mundy says online pimps. Is there a chance that he is not engaging and just subscribed?
Nope.
Well, I think
but again, the Snapchat. I think that proves that he's engaging. Again, may not be directly with her, but he believes that it's with her if he has a Snapchat and it's only with a girl.
I don't know all the intricacies, but it could be like, oh, you get like it's like a newsletter. So you get my private, you get my
it's a newsletter.
You get like my private stories on Snapchat.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. If anyone knows anything about OF in the chat, please educate us. But is there a chance that he is not engaging and just subscribed? A chance that he has her Snapchat but isn't talking? Is there a chance I'm wrong? Should I check when it was downloaded before I ask? If he downloaded after the school year ended and has not been engaging, is this the same thing as corn? It feels worse. And also another point of proof that maybe he is talking with her directly is they knew that he was subscribed at the very least. Or
because they saw at the movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
They were all like, oh, ha, 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 ha.
Ghost Blue Lady says OP is selfish and disgusting. OP. It's hard, but she has no empathy. If I was a mother of a girl attending and I found his wife knew and did nothing, I'm throwing hands.
Well, I think that I wouldn't necessarily put it on her quite yet because she just found this out and is kind of probably in shock.
Yeah, she's processing.
I think, I think if she does nothing going forward, that would be pretty messed up. But like right now, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt.
She's still in the phase of acquiring information.
Yeah.
But Black Cat's Sneak Attack says, honey, you know the answer. You just want to believe in who you thought he was so badly. Why do you think the girl was so blushy? She knew he was a subscriber. OP responds, I know, but then I also think that I don't know without proof. Is what I have proof?
Absolutely.
We share a mortgage, a cat. We have shared investments. We just passed our 1-year anniversary. I thought I knew him. And now I don't even know if I can go home. I don't know where to go. We've never so much as even had a fight where one of us sleeps at a friend's. If I go to my family or friends, they will press me and then I can't take anything back. There's an update.
Hoo-wee.
1 day later. Hoo-wee mama.
No, I think that seems like OP's starting to do this investigation. Yeah, but I think that he has to be engaging with her. with this girl.
Yeah.
And also to OP's like question of, oh, is this worse than corn? Yeah, because it involves.
It's a more intimate relationship than
it
corn.
involves a person that he knows
Yep.
and maybe directly taught.
And also, she knows.
And she knows.
It's not a one-way
Yeah.
relationship. He knows, she knows,
Yeah.
and they have history.
Yes.
It's like
And
a
also
combination.
Snapchat.
It would like it's like 1 degree worse for all of that is true. It's like
Yes.
if he was watching a former student, like just like corn, that's already bad.
Yeah.
But now it's like, no, he subscribed to her OF. That's even worse. And also she knows, and like he's talking to her through Snapchat,
Yeah.
or at least he's on a tier of subscription where
some
she's sending
sort of
Snapchat.
tier.
And there's so many layers where it's
Bad.
really messed up that I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's good. But Death Rage says, no, Sam, they had math, not history.
Good math.
Ha ha ha. Death Rage says, sorry. Ghost Blue Lady says there's enough information to inform the school and have him investigated. Do we feel a question?
I think so.
Do we feel like there's enough information to inform the school?
I think OP could go to the school and say, hey, I did my, husband teach this girl. I think that you could ask that question.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely think. And then maybe let the lawyer do the rest of it.
Ezekiel says Sophia is 100% right. Corn is usually anonymous. This is just one step below seeing her at the strip club and having her cell number.
Yeah.
That is like, I think that's a very great analogy.
Yeah, I think so.
We have an update. 1 day later.
Woo! Let's do it. Let's dive in.
I'm not super excited to dive in.
I'm not, but I want him to.
But I want to know.
I want him to be fired.
All right. So my post blew up and there were many updates, comments, so I wanted to update. I read every single comment, but there was too much to reply to, so let's clarify a few things. No, I didn't have pictures or screenshots of the Snapchats or OF. I was so upset I didn't even think about it until afterwards. Gotta have receipts,
Gotta have the receipts.
And I thought there would be another chance to get them. I realized I effed up. For some of my early comments, my brain was still reeling. I am 100% leaving my husband, to make it clear. It took me some time to come to terms with what was actually happening and the fact that I was in denial, but Reddit helped me get there, so thanks. The comments were about 50-50 split between talking to a lawyer or my husband first. The reality is that I didn't think I had anywhere else to go at the time, and I was so emotional last night and felt like I needed to know. I wanted to confront him and rip off the Band-Aid. He called me while I was still at work, and I ended up telling him we need to talk. He seemed thrown off by this and canceled plans to stay in. I didn't get home for almost 3 hours after that, crying and deciding what the F to do. Ultimately, I went home. If you're ever in the same position, don't do what I did. I wanted to follow the advice of many comments by basically saying, I know about her, but I really wanted to get pictures of the evidence first, so I planned on playing it cool, saying, never mind, all is okay, until he went to sleep and then sneaking back on his phone. I shouldn't have said anything on the phone, but my emotions got the better of me. But when I walked in the house, I immediately felt like he knew what I knew. He said, what's up, super standoffishly, just seemed off. And whatever I said on the phone must have tipped him off. Either that, or he was able to tell that I was on his phone in the morning somehow pretending to be asleep. I'm not sure. So I couldn't control myself and got super emotional and confronted him on the spot. I asked if he had an only.
Start there.
Start strong. It was the first thing out of my mouth, and he literally said, no, what did you want to talk about?
What?
Bold-faced
What?
lie.
Also, that's just so freaking annoying that OP's like, do you have an OnlyFans? He's like, no, what did you want to talk about? That. Obviously that. That's why she's talking about it.
Yeah, dude. I mean.
He's like, what do you want to talk about? What do you mean, what do you want to talk about?
But obviously she knows.
Yeah.
Why would you bold-faced lie? I mean, I guess he's
he's a
compulsive
serial liar.
Yeah. But I told him I knew what he did, and he denied it. I told him I went on his phone this morning and scoffed and walked away. I followed him crying and screaming that I knew he had an OnlyFans and a Snapchat and that I was leaving him, and finally cried out something about cheating with his students. When I said that, he immediately turned around and asked what the F I was talking about. I told him that I knew about the girl, 18 female, and his face genuinely turned into somebody
I don't know. He immediately began yelling in my face that I don't know what I was talking about. How dare me accuse him of sleeping with his students? And I'm crazy and trying to ruin his life.
Gaslighting.
I was screaming at him back. I told him to open his phone and prove it. And he laughed in my face about how stupid somebody would be to do what I'm accusing him of. I mean, he's right.
Yeah,
He's
it would
right,
be pretty
you know.
stupid. He's right, you know.
And basically threw his phone at my face and said, knock yourself out. As people can probably guess, there was nothing. He definitely knew before I got home. He was logged out of Snapchat, and when I asked him to log in and stop lying, he logged into a different account and asked me if I would drop it now. The first one had just 18 female and a few AI account things. This one had all his old college group chats and other people, including me. He gaslit me and swore he didn't have another account. I'm wondering if there's like a twist.
Yeah.
Something that we're not seeing.
It's like he's got a twin.
Or like, I don't know, she's actually a hacker and hacked onto his phone.
He's like, what are you
to
talking
subscribe
about?
to her OnlyFans.
No, I think that based off his behavior.
Alyssa Mundy says, what's the age difference between OP and husband?
I think they're similar ages. I don't know if we got.
Oh, age difference between OP and husband? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think similar ages. And
probably
OP,
30s?
I think husband he's been teaching for 10 years, so he's probably like 35.
Yeah, I would say he's around 30, mid-30s.
Yeah. He gaslit me and swore he didn't have another account. He even suggested that I dreamt all of
That's
this.
crazy. How are you what?
At
I
one
hate this
point,
man.
he finally admitted that he subscribed to an OF for a streamer during one of our intimacy lulls, but never a student, and he swore he lied because he loved me and doesn't engage in that kind of behavior
Because he's still lying.
anymore. It was just hours of lies and gaslighting. He said that he knew which student I was talking about, but that he's never spoken to her or taught her. He didn't recall the movie theater incident and accused me of imagining it too. He denied receiving a Snapchat at all a few nights ago when I first saw it. He denied acting shady the days before. He denied everything.
Yeah, just divorce this terrible, terrible man.
I was absolutely disgusted by him the whole night. As the conversation went on, he started to talk about how he's going to get us marriage counseling.
Unbelievable.
You
He's
think
putting
that's
all
gonna
this
fix
on-
it,
yeah.
buddy?
He's like, you know what? You need help. We're going to go to
You
marriage
help.
counseling.
Yeah. Honestly, let's just get a therapist for you.
Seems like it seems like maybe you should do individual therapy because you're having a lot of dreams.
Yeah, babe. You know what I love about you? I love you have this like amazing imagination, and I really think we should put that to work. You know, let's like do a storytelling class together. Let's do some improv. I love that
I
we're
signed you up
improv right
for
here. I'm making
pottery.
stuff up. You're making stuff up. Like maybe we could do a sketch group together.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Great idea. But as the conversation went on, he started to talk about how he's going to get us marriage counseling, that my trust issues can be worked on. My trust
This is
issues.
ridiculous. This man, the amount of gaslighting is incredible.
And he would leave teaching if that's what it took for me to stay, but never admitted to anything with the student. Admittedly, I was starting to get a bit of gaslight fog about the situation, believing some of what he was saying. But when he volunteered to leave teaching, I knew it was worse than I thought, because teaching is his everything. He gave up an amazing opportunity which would have made him 3 to 4 times the money and way more recognition to teach, and has never complained about his job a day in his life. We both know he loves his job more than he
too
loves
much.
me. But, he doesn't love it for, the material. He loves it for the
loves
students. He loves the students, If this was truly all a misunderstanding, or if it was a one-off with a graduated non-student, I just think he would do more to protect his job and his career. He wouldn't just leave over crazy behavior for me. That immediately told me everything I needed to know. That he was panicking on the inside about me leaving and me telling people. Maybe because more happened with 18 female than what I know. Maybe because he's done this before. I'm not sure, but he effed up bad. I don't think this is the first time.
I don't think so. I think he's very comfortable with lying.
Yeah. And also he's like, he has his system down,
Mhm.
Like
I feel like it's probably something along the lines of students flirt with him because he's like attractive young teacher. He flirts back. Eventually some, students start messaging him, and then he's like, oh, well, I can message these students.
Yeah.
And so he gets into that. And this is maybe the first time that he had like an of model.
Yeah. I'm thinking that like the best situation of this is he does wait until after they graduate, and he has just a pipeline of groomed.
Yeah, which is just grooming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just grooming his students.
Yeah. It's so late, I was exhausted, and I feigned agreement in working through it and told him I could move past it, but I was obviously lying. I need time to get crap in order. He is sleeping in the guest room tonight. I told him I would need a lot of space, and he said he was okay with that. I mean, you better be. He left his phone in our bedroom for the night as a peace offering. I hate his effing guts. Yeah, Goth Princess says he enjoys the attention. Jan Diddle says if he's been teaching for like a decade now, he must have done this when he was younger. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like...
especially, I mean, yeah, when he was a young teacher. Yeah.
I have so many things on my mind right now. What the F to do, how to get a lawyer, if I should tell my family, if I should tell the school, the fact that I have no proof, but I know what I saw, the fact that I'll be 33 and divorced, and above all, the fact that my husband may have slept with this girl. That's my gut telling me, because he kept repeating that he would never sleep with his students over and over when I was using words like cheat with, look at corn, or spicy text with. So that's the update. I was gaslit and lied to. I got no sleep last night, but still went to work this morning to get away from him. He hasn't texted me or called all day. I want nothing more than to go to the school with this info. My heartbreak is gone. I'm just angry and disgusted and want to right his wrongs, but I need him to admit to it so I can know how bad it is, and I don't think he will. I'm thinking of telling him that I reached out to the girl. I'm not going to, and see if that freaks him out enough to come clean. But what if she doesn't know, / he's using a fake account? But I think she knows.
She knows. That's why she reacted that way.
Or just saying I have proof even though I don't. Anybody have any good ideas? In the meantime, looking for divorce lawyer ASAP. TLDR, found proof of husband Snapchatting / subscribed to students only fans, but now all the evidence is gone and he gaslit me. Have no idea where to go from here besides start the divorce process and edit. I'm quickly editing to add, because so many people are saying I don't need proof to divorce, and I know that. I'm leaving him 100% regardless, but I really want some proof. I want to prove to him that he can't lie to me and get away with doing this. I also think most people in his life will not believe me without proof. I'm scared of my name being slandered and him getting off scot-free and maybe even making me the bad guy for falsely accusing. I also want to know the extent, because I need to know if he is sleeping with students or just being a creep. And there's another edit, but really quick. Do you think it's important that she gets to the bottom of this?
I think yes, only because she needs to go to the school about this. And if she needs, like, she might
go
might
to the
need
school
a little,
without proof.
I think she could, because she has a certain level of information.
She has
that
information, but
would
she won't.
start.
But does she have enough information for
an investigation? I think so. I think at that point it goes.
I guess you do have enough.
To,
yeah, because you could just anyone could just be
could
like,
say,
hey,
yeah.
I have a tip on this teacher. I think you should be investigated. And
especially if it's coming from his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they would investigate it. And then at that point, you don't need to do all the investigation work.
You could leave an anonymous tip.
That's also true. I mean, yeah, and then even then, you still don't need that much proof or anything, because they would find that.
Ming Ming says, do it for the kids, OP.
Yeah.
I really do think you're doing these children a service.
I think you need to either way. And I think OP's just seemingly it just feels like she needs the proof for herself, because she's like, I've been gaslit. But I really think she could just go to the school with a tip.
Yeah. Ezekiel says, Sam, the school can investigate and find proof if you used a school PC and maybe get the cops involved. Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Presumably they would go talk to this girl.
Yeah.
I would hope.
But she's also not a student anymore. So, I mean, do they have access? Also, is that something that she's going to want to cooperate with?
Yeah.
Potentially not. But we got another edit. So, thanks for all the comments. This blew up even more. So, I won't be able to reply to all of them. I have a meeting with a divorce lawyer at 4 p.m. We'll act accordingly based on their advice, and we'll update tonight. Comments from Even Budget 2078. OP, first of all, I am glad you are safe. I was very concerned your husband might hurt you when he realized you knew about the student. I know you got so many comments. I am a law professor from your earlier posts. Please don't get a lawyer.
No, please
Please get a lawyer and then go directly to the school.
Yes.
You don't need proof in the way that you mean.
Yes.
You tell them exactly what you found, and they will open an investigation.
I'm literally
As you
writing
already
this
know,
story.
this girl's friends know what's going on. It'll not take long for specific facts to unravel. Also, you do have evidence. Your testimony about what you saw is evidence. Yes, the school will need to corroborate your statement. That is their job, by the way, but you certainly have evidence sufficient to alert the school at this point. Please do so. I'm not going to repeat what I said earlier about the many reasons why, but simply that I think you know it is the right thing to do to protect the students your husband has access to as a teacher. I'm very sorry this happened and really hope that you also get therapy, if you can, to deal with all of this and your husband's gaslighting. Edit to add, I just want to respond to this comment because it's concerning. I want nothing more than to go to school with the info my heartbreak is gone, and I'm just angry and disgusted and want to right his wrongs, but I need him to admit it so I can know how bad it is, and I don't think he will. So this is the quote from OP. And then this commenter responds, OP, you do not need him to admit anything to you in order to go to the school. You are not the intermediary here from him. The school will carry out its own investigation and the facts will come out and you will know how bad it is.
Like, you'll get your proof, but you just don't have to go through all the process of investigating while you're also trying to divorce this man.
You are not an investigator or prosecutor of your husband. You have evidence of a concerning nature about the safety and welfare of students involving a teacher at the school. What else is there is not your job to find. Yeah, so you kind of accomplish your like own goals by informing the school. And also, it's like the moral right thing to do to protect these students.
Exactly.
What else is there is not your job to find. I would really advise you to not directly engage with your husband anymore on this topic. He has already become extremely angry with you for raising it, and pushing for more information is going to be interpreted as a threat from him. Please disengage ASAP from your husband. Leave this in the hands of the school and get a safe place where you can organize your divorce. Do you have somewhere you can stay? Go there. Do not talk to your husband, and definitely don't tell him things to see if it freaks him out to come clean. This is extraordinarily dangerous because, like, his, a cornered animal that has nothing to lose is going to strike out. And you don't want to make him feel like that because he might do something crazy.
Yeah, and you're potentially, rightfully so, but you're potentially getting him fired from a job he's been at for 10 years. I don't know if there's some sort of like tenure kind of thing going on at that school, but that's a possibility. But
the commenter says this is extraordinary, dangerous. Please do not do any such thing. And extension accident 47 says you don't need proof. You know what you saw. You saw the red flags last night. Hire a lawyer and get the divorce process started before things get any worse. Your husband has a lot to lose. Don't let him pull you down with him. Get out ASAP.
Yeah.
And that's
the end?
Is where that story ends. I do have a personal Am I the A-hole to go over, but I wonder if there's
Addie, if
more
you could
updates.
find out if there's more updates on under that username.
Yeah, maybe while Addie is looking for more updates on that story, I can tell you guys a little about my Am I the A-hole situation. So Sophia and I went to go do laundry yesterday.
Our laundry machine is broken.
Yeah, and we had the brilliant idea that like one of the places that I used to live is down the street. It's like an apartment complex. It has a open laundromat where you can pay like a few bucks.
Locked.
It's not locked. And you can pay a few bucks to do your laundry, right? And so Sophia goes and does her laundry. She fills up the entire washing machine, so I can't do any of my laundry. We leave. It's not any issue, right? So then I go this morning, and I have my big Santa sack of laundry over my shoulder.
Classic.
And I see my old neighbor, and she's pulling out of like the driveway, and I'm on the street, and she's like, hey, are you trying to do laundry here? I'm like, oh yeah, like my laundry machine's broken. Thought I'd do like a quick cycle. And she's like, you can't do that. There's a new couple that moved in, and they have a baby, and they can't have some strange man coming through. And I'm like, okay, super sorry about that. Didn't realize it was an issue, right? But she's like continually going off on me, and I'm like, totally understand. No worries, right? And then I text her husband, who I thought we were close. Like we lived next to each other for like 3 years, and we had multiple conversations, and it seemed fine. And I text him, and this is the conversation. So I say, hey, our laundry machine is getting repaired, so I went to do laundry at the old stomping grounds, but your wife got pretty upset when she saw me coming in. I'm not going to use it now. Sorry, didn't know it caused any issues. Hope you're well, right? And then he responds,
so considerate.
it's not yours to use. If yours is broken, go to a laundrette. If ours broke down, would you expect me to come to yours to do laundry? We have new neighbors with 2 kids and who use it regularly, and to them, you're a stranger.
Which implies that they apparently know everyone in the apartment complex.
And there's an Airbnb in the apartment complex, and there's plenty of people that use that same laundromat. And I said, no sweat, didn't know it was an issue. And he responds, have some common sense. If you still lived here and some random person came up to do their laundry, would you be happy? And like, I would be.
You can't even
you wouldn't even
notice. You wouldn't even notice.
It's
not like we're walking through someone's house to get to this laundromat.
And I misinterpreted that. Ezekiel says it is coin operated.
Well, yeah, it's like a tap.
It's a coin operated laundry thing. And I misinterpreted that text. I thought he said like if like we needed our laundry done and like needed to knock on the door, like I'm like I would totally let him use our laundry machine if he needed to wash some stuff. And I said, and would love to help y'all if you ever needed anything.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought we had a friendlier relationship. You are totally right. Right? Just to like kind of do it. And he's like, dude, we do have a friendly relationship, but our neighbors might not be so welcoming. They just had a baby.
I don't understand why they kept bringing up the baby.
And also, we know those neighbors.
Yeah, they also know the neighbors.
We also know the neighbors who just moved in that had the baby, and they said it was fine.
They said it was fine?
Yeah, Christian had talked to them because he had done.
So what? And also, to be clear, the people that Sam's texting, not the landlords.
Not the landlords.
Not the landlords.
It is a coin-operated laundry machine. And also, I'm just bummed because I thought we were tight. But they all also are like very, their demeanor changes based on what substance they're on. So they're a little bit variable people. But sometimes they're very nice. So maybe I just caught them on an off day.
Guess
so, chat, am I the a-hole? Josie Medola Berkowitz says, so they got offended on their behalf. Jan Digital says, but have you talked to the baby?
Yeah, I think we should go like hang out. We should become friends with that
I
couple
know.
and the baby.
I know.
And be like, and if they're like, oh, they have a baby. Yeah, we're babysitting for them.
Yeah, I think honestly, my read on it is I think they had just had an argument.
Yeah.
And were mad at each other.
And then got mad at you.
And you know what? Maybe I made it better because they had something. Enemy. Yeah, they have a common enemy. And now I've helped them a little bit with their own relationship troubles.
I guess so. No, but I think it's ridiculous. I think it's not a personal laundry machine.
Yeah.
It's basically a laundromat. It's open. It's not locked door. You don't need a key to get to it.
Sophie says you weren't planning on going on their personal apartments. So how's that bothering anyone? Not the a-hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And also like literally used to lived there.
I used to live
4
there.
years.
Yeah. I know the neighbors that moved in that have the baby because we talked to them as they moved in and we moved out. I know everyone there.
We're not it wasn't like, oh, there was a big line for the laundry.
There was no one.
Yeah.
There was no one that was at the laundry thing.
Never do this. Our laundry machine is broken.
I was a little taken aback because
that's ridiculous. Also, the fact that you were like, hey, sorry, didn't realize this problem, won't do it, and he was like, ah!
Yeah, exactly, dude.
I'm up in arms.
I didn't even use the laundry machine. I didn't even get to use it. I was on the street with a sack.
Laundry, yeah.
I guess I had intent. I had intent to use the laundry machine. I was a man with laundry intent. But yeah, Ezekiel says, Sam, are you going to call any of the ladies Riley introduced you to at the Spotify event? Just don't snap them. Yeah, there was no ladies that
you mentioned that before. I feel like Sam didn't talk to any of these.
No, I didn't. I what do you mean? I talk to girls all the time. Talk to girls all the time. No, I mostly just talked to the friends that I knew at the Spotify event.
Tia says, did Riley break it again? Riley was not. Our laundry machine is just broken, and we've had to fight to get a new one.
We are
for
fighting.
A year.
We are fighting. Yeah. But luckily, I think we're getting a new one. But that is where my personal story, the bigger crazy story about the high school teacher, and this episode ends. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you,
and see you tomorrow.